sorry for the slight delay on that. I didn't mean to take a little bit longer than I thought to start stream, but I had meant for you guys to be able to throw stuff at me because I know you guys like doing that, and Tits was broken, so I tried to fix it. I'm sorry you can't throw things at me today. It's just, it is what it is. Hey Scissor, hey Zerk, how's it going? It's like we haven't seen each other in a millennia. Not like we were just in voice chat. But yeah, sorry about that delay. I did not mean for that to spend like half an hour. Well, not half an hour. It hasn't been half an hour. Well, it might have been like 20 minutes troubleshooting stream scuff stuff. But you know what? That's okay. I will figure that out for next time. So I tried to do that. That's not working. But also I needed to make some coffee, and Audra was like, hello, help. Because he's sick. So I think today it has been a long time since the last time I streamed. It was about, I left on the 6th of June, so I think the last time I streamed was on the 4th? I think so. 2 to 3 years ago or something in cat years. For real. My cats are like the clingiest motherfuckers right now. I'll get into that, but it's definitely, they're not happy. Well, they are happy to see us, but they're like, we'll never let you go. We'll follow you everywhere you go. So, unfortunately for us now, we have two little shadows pursuing us at all times. Oh, wait. You know what? I do have the fairy there. Hold on. Let me turn that on at least. You can get the fairy back. Let me turn that on real quick. Does that work? Let me test it for you guys. Actually, I don't even know how to... I wish I did know, but apparently I don't remember how to even use Navi. This is a shame. You would think that oh, wait. Hold on. We'll try it. We'll try it out. Testing the Naviness.
Testing the Naviness.
Yay! There she is! She works! Okay. You get Navi at least, if you really want her. Okay. But yeah, so it's been a long time. It's been 1 week since you looked at me. No, it's been 2 weeks and like 2.5 weeks now. That's crazy. I did miss streaming a lot. I wanted to get on my PC so bad, but we were just traveling the entire time. I guess just to start it. Hold on. I'm just going to turn this down a little bit. It's a little bit distracting. So just to preface it with why I was gone, which I'm sure everybody here probably already knows, but I guess just to kind of go over that again shortly. I was helping my husband. He just got approved for his green card in May. So he's from Canada. So he's been down here a couple years while we were waiting for the adjustment of status. So now that that's complete, it's like that's done, which means that he can finally, while he was waiting for the adjustment of status, he could not leave the US. He was not allowed to, which meant that he had this entire apartment that he was basically paying for. And all this furniture in the apartment, like he couldn't go and get any of his furniture, he couldn't pack his apartment, and he was just stuck paying his apartment for like the last year and a half. Which in Toronto is not cheap at all. So I think that's one thing he's going to be looking forward to, like not losing money per month paying for rent for an apartment he's not using. So, but yes, we were going to basically help him pack up his apartment and move him down here. We were kind of looking at the cost of things. We could have done like a U-Box thing, but we would have had to rent a truck on both ends to load the U-Boxes. So what we decided to do, Slaying nightmares. Yeah, I was slaying nightmares. All this that I'm telling you right now, it's a lie. I was actually just, I was doing my normal stuff, you know, flexing, slaying nightmares. I went into some people's dreams. I hung out, jumped into a pool, flew off a balcony. You know, the standard. But but yeah. So I was basically, I went up there to go help him. He'd already been up there a couple weeks. He went a little bit before me, but I can only get a little bit off of work. So I took 2 weeks off work. I flew up to Canada, to Toronto. And from there, there was still a lot to do packing wise. I thought we would have a little bit more time to tour, but I think a lot of the time ended up being spent packing the boxes in his house. I think it was just a miscount thing. It was like, oh, we'll only have like 20 boxes, and it was really like 40 plus boxes that we needed to pack. Plus loose things, and it was like, holy shit, this is gonna fit in the house when it gets down here. So that was that logistically it was a little bit more of a nightmare than we thought, but we got through it decently quickly. So I arrived on the I left on Friday, and I arrived on the Saturday at like 2 a.m. And it was, unfortunately for me, the fires, there were like fires up in like Manitoba to the north. And that was like like that particular day that I arrived was the most polluted day on record. Well, not on record, but like on that day, like Toronto was the most polluted city on the planet. And you know what? I could feel it. Like, we got on public transport, like the subway was closed, so we got on buses. And as we were taking the bus, and like by the time we got back, I could feel a tickle in my throat. And I was like, dude, I've been here for like 2 hours in public transport, and I feel like I'm getting sick. And like, that's wild to me. I mean, I was fine the next day, but I was just like, wow. They really, like, when the air is bad, it's bad. But Audra himself is a little bit more susceptible to like basically respiratory related stuff. So like the poor guy got strep throat before before he went. So before I went over there. So he was busy trying to pack while dying inside, and I was I was like, don't worry, I can help. I got this. So basically I got there, and the very next day I went to bed at like, it was like 2 a.m. When we got back, and I went to bed. And then I woke up and I got a haircut, so I'm no longer in my emo phase. Funny, you know how I always have to put in like hair clips? Look at this. I could do that without a hair clip in. Yippee! Back to short hair again. It's just the way we like it. Hey Karma, how's it going? I love raising my eyebrows, and I couldn't do it because, yeah. Linkin Park Remy. Dude, I was doing like my best, like Bring Me the Horizon, I don't know, like Gerard Way. I don't even know what the hell. I was doing my best scene emo haircut because I just hadn't had my haircut in like 2 months. So now I can see again. It's nice and short, so I can mentally dying because of video games. Hope you're doing well. What are you playing? What are you playing that's making you die? Is it Night Rain? Is it Monster Hunter? Is it any gacha game? Why are you dying, Karma? Yeah, just while I wait for that. Basically, so we got a haircut, so I didn't look like I was stuck in the early 2000s. Night Rain while on the Persona 5 Phantom X. What is Persona 5 Phantom X? Hold on. Persona 5 Phantom X. Mochi, how's it going? Thank you for the head pat. Is it basically like Persona 5 but just launched on PC? That looks like what it is, but I'm not entirely sure. So yeah. You're doing okay? That's good. I hope you've been There's a bug on my mic. Did I kill it? I don't know if I killed this bug and I'm concerned. Either way, I just smacked you guys. I am sorry about that. It's a spin-off with new character for Steam and mobile. Okay. Persona 5 gotcha. Oh, that's dangerous. Worth it? What do you mean worth it to kill the bug? Hey Finn, how's it going? Drops tomorrow. Yeah, I'm sorry for slapping you guys so I could kill a bug. It was important. So yeah, we went and got haircuts, and then we immediately went. Again! You guys want to be slapped again? Are you sure? Are you sure about that? I could do it again. I hope you're happy. I slapped the bug off of your face, chat. No, wait. No. Wait. Oh, this has nothing to do with that. With any of the vacation stuff. Oh, the bug is still alive. I can see it. Damn it. I didn't get it. This has nothing to do with the vacation, but you know what I did see before I left? I saw that there was a sale of the 5090 Auris Ice, like the gigabyte graphics card, and I may have picked it up. So I replaced my 5080 with the 5090 that I actually wanted, and now I need to go sell my 5080. But now I have a sexy ass like graphics card that actually matches with my PC case. And aside from the art that I need to finish kind of commissioning and doing the case effects, like my case is looking sexy as fuck, boy. So yeah, I'm gonna figure that out. I need some decal stickers for it. And once I figure that out, we're good. But yeah, so anyway, getting back to the story, we went immediately after getting haircuts, and we took public transport, and it took like 3 hours. But we went over to Audra's friend's house for like a barbecue thing. And we can decal stuff last against computer hitting? I'm looking for like the same decal stuff that like, you know, a lot of PCs have these decals on them, but like particularly a lot of VTuber PCs. I'm basically really close to accomplishing my little VTuber dream, one of my little VTuber dreams of having my own like custom Remy PC. Like we're nearly there. I just don't know how to like get the same stickers printed out that people do for their custom VTuber PCs. But once I get that done, I mean it should be fine. I have 9 fans in that PC. Is it 9? 2 plus 4, 5. Yeah, there's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 case fans are on the side, and then another 3 on the actual graphics card itself. my PC is really hella cooled for sure. I trapped 9 of my fans. They're all in there. Actually, you guys are in my PC right now. Just be careful. You know, you're next to my CPU. It's a graphics card that runs really hot. Just watch the walls. Watch out, guys. I'm taking the graphics card to the mines it goes. Oh! Although if anybody wants a 5080, I have one for sale, wink. I guess. I need to go find out how to sell a 5080. I've never sold anything in my life. Guess that's a way to go out, go buy Cruel. Yeah, you guys are gonna cool my PC case for me, right? Right? Come on, guys. Come on. Come on, keep up. But yeah, so, I touched the glass, so you have to figure out how to clean off the fingerprints off the inside and use it to get you. Ooh, that is a little bit sneaky, Finn. A lot of bubble wrap and stuff if it's an overseas thing. The thing is, I feel like it'd be really easy to escape from this case because it's like the type of case that actually doesn't have any screws, but it's got like these glass panels that you just kind of put your finger on the sides and it just kind of snaps off. Like it's like kind of attaches like by magnets and stuff. So yeah, you go on Craigslist, meet up in the middle desert of Texas. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, we have something to clarify here, Zerk. You think Texas is a desert? Whoa, 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 whoa. The middle desert? No. No. Okay. I'm about to clear a Texas misconception. Yes. No. There is a big misconception. I think a lot of media depicts Texas as desert. It is, in fact, a lie. Texas it's orange on this map for the sand. No, not necessarily. Okay. The misconception is getting cleared today. I'm going to put it out there. West Texas is desert. It doesn't have an orange tint. No, it doesn't have an orange tint. Neither does Mexico. But okay, West Texas is desert. You are right that there is some desert in Texas, but it's like all on like the west side. Texas is basically like 5 biomes in one state. So they're the north part of the state and like kind of the north to like the northeast and kind of center as well is all like rolling plains. It's kind of like grassy. It's like, let me make sure I'm not telling you wrong here. What's a good comparison? No, that's not a good comparison. Okay. What comes up if you Google rolling plains? Yeah, that's about right. All right. If you Google like rolling plains, no. It's a lot like a desert. No. That's like part 1 of 5 out of Texas. You're at 20% of Texas. Like you haven't even filled the loading bar. Yeah. It's like basically there's like a portion of Texas that's completely flat. There's a portion of Texas that's like rolling plains of like grass. And depending on whether the weather has, whether it's hit July/June and the heat waves of 100+ degrees have happened yet, the grass is either really green or it's kind of yellowy. Heard planes are falling in the U.S. No! Guys, why are you bullying me? It's Yowie. Okay. So West Texas is desert. North is like rolling plains. As you go more towards the center, it's a little bit less rolling plains, but it's still like grassy. If you go towards East Texas, it's swamp. It's all swamp. Because you're getting into close proximity to Louisiana, and that's just all fucking swamp. So it's very swampy there. And then when you get to like Southeast Texas, that gets into like subtropical, so you start seeing like palm trees and stuff. But it's still kind of got like the flat grassy kind of thing, but you just start getting like, basically things that you would see near like a tropical coastline. That's actually why we get subtropical thunderstorms, and I'm like, hey guys, I gotta end stream early. I'm busy getting pounded by a freaking thunderstorm that might destroy my ass. So, we do get those kind of going on. But basically, Texas is like 5 biomes met in one area. It's only in West Texas. Everybody just hears, like, sees the stereotype of the desert, and that's only if you go to West Texas. But that's actually not where hardly any of the population is. You have El Paso there, and then that's it. And nobody likes El Paso. El Paso sucks. But the majority of the population of Texas is in like a place, like this place, like called like the Triangle. Basically between Houston and Dallas. Eh? What choice of phrasing, huh? But yeah, about the ass beating. No, I don't even remember what I said 10 seconds ago. I'm sorry. I don't live in a desert. The majority of the population of Texas lives in like basically the not desert part, like in the plains / swamp / subtropical area of Texas, which is still takes up like the other like 3/4 of the state to like half the state. I think desert might be like 1/3 of it, but it's just all in the place where nobody lives, except for El Paso people. But yeah, there you go. Check Spot, the storm that'll beat my ass. Oh no, I did say beat my ass. I live in desert, not desert. Actually, I wish I could have more dessert, but I can't. I need to stop eating. No more dessert for me. My goal is to be fit as fuck before the next OffKai. So, next OffKai, I'm gonna be fit as hell. We're gonna be walking around. Yeah, I gotta I gotta lift weights. We gotta get on my bike, my exercise bike. But because I really felt that, but I think that's basically my entire trip. My entire trip to Toronto and like back and then going to California for OffKai was basically, hey, remember all those times that you should have been like working out? Well, sorry about that. Stationary treadmill. I did see those. Somebody was, I think, linking me those, was showing me those earlier and saying I should get one. I can't remember who or what the context was, but I think I need to invest in one for my desk at home. But yeah, so we're way off topic, but basically, yeah, I went to my friend, Audra's friend's house. It was like his friend's birthday, so we went and we gave him whiskey, which you can't get whiskey in. I don't know if it's just all of Canada or just like Ontario right now. But apparently there's the whiskey ban or something going on right now. That's what Audra and what has told me, along with like several other friends. Toronto, probably. Okay. That would make sense. But yeah, they can't get their hands on any whiskey right now, so I brought they asked me for like local area. Well, basically he had two friends that were looking after the like his apartment, and they asked for like, hey, can you get us some whiskey? But also, can you get it like as local as possible? And I was like, hold on, I got you. So I brought up 2 bottles of whiskey in my luggage, one for them and one for his friend for his birthday. And that went over decently well. I got to try it whenever we went to go see Audra's friends, and I will say I tasted the whiskey. I'm not a whiskey fan, just to preface this, so maybe it's that, but like it tasted really good. It was like oddly sweet, but then like the after hit just like hit the back of my throat, and oh my god, I fucking died. Like I was like and yeah, the whiskey kick hit the back of my throat, and it was really strong, and I didn't expect it because of how like oddly sweet the first notes of the whiskey was. And this is why you never trust whiskey. But yeah, we did that. We went to the party, and then the next day we did dim sum. We met more of his friends for dim sum, and then we toured. One of them had got a house, so we toured their house. The house was really nice. I honestly didn't apparently Toronto's just that expensive that I wasn't quite sure, like, I mean, the idea of owning a house there seems like hard, but like at the same time, they managed to get a house and it was really nice. It had like one of those like really tall, like vaulted windows. And I really kind of want, like, I want to have a living room with like windows that are just like covering the entire side. That'd be cool. That's like one of my dream things in a house. But yeah, so we went and we did that. And then starting on Monday, we started packing. And like, we packed for about the next 3 days. At some point, Audra's dad stopped by and helped us take out some of the big furniture. And then we've had like one day. Oh, wait, I didn't mention this. We cleared the tier! Yippee! I wish I had confetti! But yeah, yippee! I'll make a confetti. I need like a confetti redeem. But yeah. Wish I had. I don't have confetti redeem, but I do have this pizza that I have from like several streams ago. Whee! Confetti! Yeah! I needed something to wave around. Oh, I have the pad crop prow as well. Hold on. Yeah! I need to delete those. I ain't touching alcohol thingums though. Does it give you a pizza mine? Yes, I have pizza mine now. But yeah, like we managed to, they cleared it the day that I was traveling and I was a little sad, but I mean, I'm glad for them that they cleared it, but I was sad that I was not there to like be there for the clear. But honestly, having done all that packing, I mean, I don't think there was time. So it is good that they were able to get the clear as a group without me or Audra. But yeah, so we went in on Tuesday and it took a lot of the thing, but we did get the clear and we got another clear as well, like this last week. So yeah. As for why I'm not raiding tonight, it's because some people are out, so I'm gonna do my re-clears on Thursday. The choke is how you pronounce pizza as pizza. Yeah, no, I got you, Mochi. I got you. No worries. I got you with the pizza mine. Why didn't... Oh, you don't drink alcohol, Mochi? That's understandable. But yeah, so, we had... Where was I? I get very off track. Very, very easily. Oh! So on the Thursday, that was like the one day that we were able to do things that were not just like all packing or just like saying kind of last hangouts with friends. So we went to the ROM. Prefer being the designated sober person? That's fine. No, that's completely respectable. I have some friends that don't drink at all. So, and I don't drink much. I basically just do like some social drinking and that's it. So yeah, on the Thursday we went to like the ROM, which was the Royal Ontario Museum for anybody who doesn't live in Canada or Toronto. And they had like a couple of interesting exhibits there. First, Audra took me to the rock exhibit because I don't know if you guys know this, but I freaking love rocks. I had like a rock collection growing up, and so he was like really put out because the first time he took me to Toronto, he wanted to show me it then, but he didn't realize that the museum closes at like 4:30, or like 5. Well, 4:30. It was a little bit early for the rocks. And so we were only able to look at the rocks for like 10 minutes that time. And he's like, man, I wanted to show you the rocks. And I was like, that's okay. So we went to go see the rocks first thing this time. And we went and we looked at all the rocks and there were some really freaking cool rocks there. And like gems and stuff. And then they also had two very interesting... They had two exhibits. One of which was for like colors. I assume it's because it was Pride Month. It's still Pride Month. So the like kind of a museum exhibit, like a special one, like dedicated to just show like exhibiting things with different colors and stuff like that. And that was kind of a nice, easy walkthrough. And then we had there was like one for Auschwitz. And that was like extremely informative and just really kind of hit hard. I'm going to be honest. I think we thought it would be like an hour, but it was like a 3-hour exhibit. That kind of took the rest of the time that we were in the museum for, almost. And it was very poignant. It was very like descriptive of like the entire time before, during, and after Auschwitz as a museum exhibit. It had like audio stuff, video stuff, like people telling their stories and everything, and like actual things from the area. So that really was a very real exhibit to go through. I guess if anybody finds themselves in Toronto while that exhibit's still open, I definitely like highly recommend it. It was very sobering to look at. It was very very sad, very sad, but also very important stuff to like, learn about and keep in mind, So we did that. We did, I think that took most of the afternoon, I'm going to be honest. We went out to dinner and then we packed some more. We were supposed to leave on the Sunday, but we found out, well, we kind of were nearly done on the Friday, and we were like, you know what? We should probably just, if we set out now from Toronto, we still have like at least a 2-day drive ahead of us, and we're going to go from like, we're basically going to get on a plane not long after we get back to Texas. So we really need to like get our asses in gear, because otherwise we're going to have no time to unpack anything or no time to like rest before we have to get on a plane again. So we decided we would leave on the Saturday rather than the Sunday. Also we almost met Zerk. But I think the time just didn't permit. But it's okay. We'll meet next time, Zerk. For sure. If it's not from me happening to visit Toronto again. Yeah, if it's not from me happening to visit Toronto again, then it'll be during OffKai, right? Because I'm definitely going again next year. It was really good. But yeah, nearly there. But yeah, so we set off on the Saturday. Yeah. I'm not one to just drop friendships or anything, or kind of flit from place to place. So trust me, unless something went like heavily awry and something literally fucking exploded, I'm not one to drop literally anybody. So yeah, friendship. Let's be friends forever. Yeah. Also, the person we were going to stay at was playing in a band until 3 a.m., so we didn't have anywhere to sleep. Yes, that's true as well. We didn't have a place to stay after we were going to give away the furniture. So we were going to stay with one of Audra's friends. Yeah, also there he is. Hee. I hope you feel a little bit better, Audra. I got him soup. I hope the soup and the bread helped. There are cough drops and Robitussin on the way. Those will arrive in the morning. Mm-hmm. Oh no, he's on fire. Yeah, 1,000 years. No, it says he's fine. You're right. This is fine. Okay. So yeah, we were going to stay one more day, and then we set out. First we went and we packed the entire truck on the same day that we left, I believe. That was the case, right? Because we're packing it till around like midday. And then we went and we dropped off. Yeah. It's not a bad fever at all. It's pretty bad. You were literally fine yesterday. It's so wild, Audra. You tested negative yesterday. I haven't even gotten to that yet. I mean, I told Zerk and Scissor and Finn off stream, but basically after OffKai, I don't know if you guys have seen the Twitter. Like for anybody that wasn't in that chat, I don't know if you guys have seen Twitter, but basically everybody who went to OffKai has gotten like con crud COVID. I so far, well, yesterday, Audra tested negative yesterday. But then today he suddenly was like, he was like playing Metroid in bed, he said. And then he was like, that's weird, I feel like shit. And then he tested again, because he tested yesterday because we had heard a whole bunch of VTubers and stuff and people coming from the convention had COVID. And so he was like, oh, it's okay, it's negative. And I was like, okay, we're probably fine then. And so then we both tested yesterday. Yeah, one frame is transition. Yeah, we both tested yesterday. He tested positive. I've tested negative still for the moment, but I'm still gonna isolate as well because you never know. I might be sick, you know. I could get sick anytime in the next couple of days. I'm gonna be like religiously drinking emergency every single night, and praying that I don't get sick. But yep, that's unfortunate. So hopefully Audra gets better soon, and it isn't as bad as his first time getting COVID, because that was ass, unfortunately. And so was so was the first time I got COVID, so I'm hoping to not get it a second time. But yeah, getting back to it. So we set off out on our drive, and we dropped off the mattress over at Audra's dad's house. And then we got on the road, and we decided to cross. We took a U-Haul, and we decided to cross at the Detroit border. Speaking of sick, I somehow got the vid things, but was symptomless, which confused doctors and family alike. That actually is something that happens. That's a lot of people, particularly in early COVID, were like carriers, and that was like a huge problem. Because people weren't sick, but they were still passing it on to people who were vulnerable to illness, and that was causing them to get sick. And it's not something that you could help, but if you got tested, at least it's good that you know. Because I know, like, I think there was like a part like where my aunt, uncle, and like cousins in England all got sick, but one of them didn't get sick, but they were just thinking, I mean, that guy was the one who was out the most, so maybe he was just symptomless because everybody else in there was sick. It was the same with like my younger sister, Razzie. She didn't get sick with COVID, but she was out the most out of any of us. Like, back during COVID, I basically didn't leave my house for like 3 years, dude. And my mom relatively didn't leave as well, but both of us were the ones to get COVID, whereas my sister Razzie, who went out all the time, has never had COVID. Which I was like, that's wild. The one time I did get COVID was actually going for the first time I went out. Because she wanted me to go out to a bar for her birthday, and I went out, and then I got COVID, and I was like, motherfucker, not that I want you to get sick on your birthday, but how do you go out how do you go out most weekends and go out go out to bars and shit, and I go out once in 3 years and I get freaking COVID at a bar. But yeah, it is what it is. Some people are susceptible and some people who aren't, so I somehow didn't get it despite my mom having it and being like 2 rooms over, like we tested me too, but nothing. Yeah, that's really fortunate. If you're the type that's not susceptible to it, yeah, Karma, Finn, and Mochi, it sounds like. My first COVID was on Christmas Day, and I was visiting friends and had to isolate in the guest bedroom for a week. Worst vacation ever. Yeah, that really sucked for Audra. He helped me clear P8S, which if everybody remembers, for the people who remember that fight at all in 14, that was literal like ass fight. The other time I got it was weirdly stupid. Yeah. I don't know. It just affected some people disproportionately compared to others. And like it makes no sense. Like, this is weird. Yeah, the potato laptop. I'm still convinced I didn't have it since my family didn't get it, no matter how many times they came to check if I was alive. Yeah, I don't know. COVID's a weird illness, honestly. It really is. Yeah, like you were probably just symptomless. But some people did just end up being carriers, and that's the really scary thing about it, because you don't know if you're bringing it like around your grandma or something who's like immunocompromised, you know? Like it's not something it's something that you would want to avoid, right? But sometimes you're just not lucky enough to even find out that you have it as a carrier, right? Family and I were eating out, and two of us got hit with it and the other two didn't. We figured it passed on to us from the waitress. Yeah, that's honestly, I wouldn't doubt. I mean, conventions are always super spreaders for getting sick, but I would not doubt, based off of this convention, that like the party floor was probably a mess. Like OffKai had a officially sponsored party floor thing. Like they bought out that floor and they were like, okay, people who want to host a party in here, feel free to book that from us or something like that. I think that's how that worked. I'm not entirely sure because I had nothing really to do with the party floor. But when I went there, it was super near. I mean, it's a hotel room, like hallway. And it was a hotel room hallway with hotel rooms. And the amount of people that were fitting into the hotel room hallway, it was so fucking cramped. I don't know. I mean, I will fully admit it. I have like anxiety attacks if I'm in a crowd. Like I found out, I don't think it's actually bad outdoors. Yeah, like hundreds of people on one floor. But I actually get like horrific anxiety in crowds, indoor crowds specifically. And like, dude, I was like, yeah, I'll go out there. I'll check out the party floor. Maybe I'll be okay. No, within like 3 minutes, I was like, I gotta get out. I gotta get out. I gotta get out. So, yeah. It is unfortunate, but no. It's not a matter of friends. I don't know. I think I know what's triggered it. Sorry, I don't entirely know. I think I was used to being isolated for so long in COVID that I got like resensitized to being in crowds. Gonna lurk for now. P5X out now. Yeah, have fun, Karma. Have fun. Enjoy P5X. So like, at some point, I went during COVID. I think we were all isolating for so long, and I went with my mom and my sister to Key West. Like we decided, like, hey, we should like. This was like at the end of COVID, like just like not very long after COVID ended. I say ended, like it's not still here, but like when like all the isolations were ending. And so we decided to go to Key West to kind of like take a small vacation because, you know, we've all been isolated in our homes. So this was our first one where we weren't taking like an isolated vacation. And we went to a bar in Key West. And I just remember I was sitting at a table and I just felt odd because like it was like an extremely crowded bar. And I was like, I don't feel comfortable in here and I don't know why. And then like I saw like the shadows of people talking behind me because it was like one of those bars where like the entire half of it was like exposed to like the outdoors. So like the sun was shining into the bar and I could see the shadows of people talking behind me. Like they were standing behind me, but I saw like their shadows on the table. And there was something about that just completely like I felt boxed in and it like set me off. And I like had like an anxiety attack for the first time. And just since then, I can't be in like very, very, very crowded indoor settings. Like, I tried going to a bar, a different bar for, like, that Razzie invited me to, and I had, like, an anxiety attack in there, too, and I think it just had something to do with crowds and being in enclosed spaces with crowds, so. Thank you, Audra. Like, I'm not afraid to admit that. Like, I know what my limitations are now. I just really, maybe at some point, I don't know how to overcome that because I don't want that to be, like, a thing that happens to me, but I think acknowledging it is important. I think I tried to overcome it, and I think exposure therapy is not the way. I don't think. Because I definitely had another one when I entered that hotel part. Like, I could do the party floor. Yeah, sure. Gets inside there. No. So slow, steady process like anything else. Yeah. I think I just need to be outside more. I need to touch more grass. Okay, but what that was like going into the middle of the ocean, fear of water. Is that like a fear you have, Zerk, or just like kind of like an example? Just out of curiosity. Oh yeah. It's like basically I have a fear of water, but I'm gonna go in the middle of the ocean and just drop myself there, and we'll see what happens. I don't know. You're so right about that, though. I think trying to acclimate myself back to being around large crowds of people, indoor crowds of people, by going in the middle of like a cramped space with large crowds of people is not the way. We need to get to medium crowds first. But I'm like fine for concerts. Concerts are fine, but everybody has their own designated space. I also get scared that, like, start with cats. It's gotta be like bone stacks. Maybe. Anyway, I think I got a little off track. What were we? I'm very bad at staying on track. Okay, yeah, we set out, and then we were supposed to change off. Like, this is driving from Toronto. We were supposed to change off every 3 hours. But I think we ended up kind of. I was like, hey, at the 3 hour mark, Audra, you want to change out? And he was like, wait, I'm vibing. I can drive. I can keep driving. I'm vibing. And I was like, okay. So he kept driving, like, and he drove all the way from like Toronto. We went to like through Windsor to like the Detroit border. And first off, this is not something we ever have to think about normally, but when you're in a U-Haul, would you classify yourself as a truck or a car? Because apparently that was an issue that we never thought about before that day. You would think. So we got to the border. Yeah, we got to the border, and it said trucks this way, cars this way. Also, before we hit the border, there were several times where it said trucks go this way, cars go this way. And we're like, are we a car or are we a truck? And it looked like a lot of commercial trucks were going to like the truck way. But we didn't say a lot of cars. Yeah. So I think that we were technically classified as a car. I'm not sure. But either way, we got to the border, and for there, we were absolutely, we began to go the truck way, and as we were going, we realized there's no border check for the trucks. Because like and so we were stopped and we're like, are we a truck? Are we a car? And then this guy drives by in a truck and he's like, yeah, you looked a little confused there. So I just came to tell you, get in the RV/van line. Yeah, they have the fast carts to skip the border check. Yeah, that's exactly it. So yeah, this guy just drove by within 1 minute of us. We like we're parked in between the van or the car, like I said, the truck and the car lanes, and we're just like, and then this guy just stops by and is like, hey, I noticed you guys were a little lost there. So you guys should get in the RV line. So we got in the RV line. And we got up to the border patrol guy, and this guy, legitimately, he was just, is there even like this was him. Hello? do you have your passport? I need both of your identity. And like Audra was like, do I need my green card? And he's like, I just need your passport. And and theirs too. And he gestured to me. And we're like, oh, okay. Yeah, he looked like he was going to jump off the bridge. We looked like we would need to save him in a second. And then so we gave him the passport. They were confused. Either the super direct or play 50 questions. Yeah. Lapid Tupinzabag guy. I don't know. But yeah, so we gave him the passports and he's like, what's in the truck? Because, you know, we have a U-Haul. So, and then we're like, well, we have this manifest here if you want it. And we start to hand him this, like, 12-page manifest. And he sees the packet. And he's like, I don't need to see that. I'll open the orange barricade. And he just lets us through. I was like... We didn't even have to show him what was in it. Like, honestly, I think that they do have an X-ray system thing. Audra mentioned that, like, the thing that we passed through that was an X-ray system just to, or something to, like, make sure there wasn't, like, anybody on the vehicle with us, like, in the truck. But beyond that, we literally could have brought whatever the hell we wanted over the border with us. So yeah, like, we had this 12-page manifest. We could have had female bacon. We could have brought female bacon over the border with us. We could have done that. We didn't because we were like, we shouldn't bring animal produce over the border. We're trying to be good citizens, but yeah, packing took 3 to 4 times longer to make that manifest of everything I own in every box, not even used. Yeah, that's exactly, like, we basically made that manifest so we didn't have to have our truck checked almost. Minus the gun that X-ray picks it up. Yeah. Yeah, better safe than sorry for sure. And it also helped us anyway. I kind of took over the spreadsheet whenever I got there to an extent, and I was like, we could use this column and this column because I love spreadsheeting. I was like, okay, we should have a column for what room the box comes from, so you know whether it's like a bathroom box or like something for your office or something like that. And we should have like the packing order, whether it should be a bottom box or a middle box or a top box, and a check. And we should have a checklist. And then Audra's like, we're not going to use any of these things. We used it. It was useful. Trust. Gotta trust in the system. People were stuck 4 hours getting their truck checked. Yeah, no, I did not want that. So we made sure, like, we literally did, like, write everything down on that manifest. The bridge crossing. So we went on the bridge, and and the guy let us through, and we kept driving, and we got like another few hours. We drove all the way through, then again, it did go downhill last I checked. Yeah. We drove all the way through Michigan, and we drove most of the way through Ohio, and then at that point, I think it was about 2, 3 in the morning, and then Audra was, like, dying, and he was like, can we stop a little early? And I was like, no, we said we would stop in this point in Ohio, and damned if we're not going to stop in this point in Ohio. So I took over and I drove like the last 1 to 2 hours. Yeah, and it was like 4 a.m. by the time we got to like the motel room that we meant to stay at. I have an ad that starts in 50 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna take a very quick break here and drink some coffee because I've been yapping away. But yeah, I shall see you guys in about 3 minutes. I will talk about the motel room very briefly. Yeah, see you guys in 3 minutes. Sorry about that. All right. So we should be good for another hour. Okay. So we got there to the motel room, and Audra at this point was dead, but I drove in the vehicle. I thought it would be worse than it was. It was a little bit scary driving in like a U-Haul truck because like I'm not used to being that high up. And it's basically like you're driving a freaking tank. Yeah, it was my first time driving something like that. So like I was like driving like this massive tank. Then it does not do anything fast. But yeah, we got to the motel, and Audra was like, "Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go open the I'm gonna go get us a motel room." But like, I'm sure you just didn't think about it because you were tired at the time, Audra. But you like opened up the back of the truck, and then so I needed to watch the back. So I stayed at the back, and I was like, "It's okay if I die, I die." And then he left to go book it. And then I was like, I know, it's okay. It was like 4 a.m. And I was just sitting there, and I was like, actually, this is kind of awkward. I'm sitting there with all of the belongings of the back of this U-Haul just sitting there open, and I'm sitting at the back of the truck alone, in the dark. I was like, actually, this is a little spooky. And then as I was standing there, like near the back, this like cop started driving down the road, and I think like he saw like the back of the truck open, and he saw just like a figure there that was me. I know cricket noises. What was that? That was literally me. I was getting a little spooked out there. I mean, it was 4 a.m. But yeah, this cop like drove by, and I saw him, and I think he saw me, and he saw like the U-Haul open, and he saw just the figure there, and he was like, "That looks a little sus." But Audrey, you're not short. What do you mean? If Audra's short, then I must be smart. Okay. I was gonna say, if you're short, then I must actually be like an ant. But yeah, basically, the cop, I guess, must have thought I was like sus in there with the open U-Haul. And so like I saw him drive across the road, and he went out of view, and then he like drove around like the side of the motel and like stopped in front of the U-Haul, and I'm just sitting there like, and then and then he's like, "Hello." Well, sorry, and then he didn't say anything, but he stopped in front of the U-Haul, and then he just slowly started driving back. And I waved, and I was like waving, just ha ha ha. And then he just drove away. To be actually, the cop is a good cop. Human trafficking via U-Haul and to motels is a thing. I know that's probably that could have been what he was thinking. But yeah, I just waved at him, and then he drove away. And to be fair, about like within 3 minutes, I wish he was there. I wish he was there, because like an actual like white van drove up to the motel, and it was like driving weirdly. And I was like, and it stopped, and then started again, and then parked, and these 4 dudes got out of there, and they weren't just like getting out like in an orderly fashion. It was like 4 a.m. and they're like, whoa bro, and like being like all tomfoolery and shit. And I was like, oh god, who are these people? And I thought they were literally coming to the U-Haul. I know, but it was like an unmarked white van. It was like white. It was scary. It was like the same stereotypical van that you would get kidnapped in. Yeah, I don't know, but they got out, and they were like being all wild and shit. And I thought they were about to walk up to the U-Haul, and thank God they just walked into like the motel area. It's like, I actually like called, like I tried to call Audra on Discord, but he was still trying to book the motel, and I was like, dude, that could have been the moment I was kidnapped. It could have been. It's not his fault. It was 4 a.m. We didn't think about these things. But I was like, Audra, can we never do that again? Never leave a U-Haul open with me there alone. I'm scared. Never again. So yeah. We went into the motel, and I mean, it was a motel. I don't know if I've ever stayed in one before that. I think I have, but I just know, like, the hotel it smelled very distinctly of feet, and I don't like that. But oh well, we only had to be in there for one night, and it was cheap, so but yeah, we went and we stayed at the motel, and then we got breakfast and coffee the next morning. It was literally across the street. And then I took over driving for the day, and I drove through Ohio and all of the rest of Ohio, which was like Cincinnati and like most of Kentucky. And I didn't realize, I'm going to put it out here, I just always assumed that Kentucky was, I made a very bad assumption, I think. I should have thought about this. But what you guys did about Texas earlier, I thought, like, I had seen flying overhead Illinois from the sky, and Illinois just looks like bland yellow fields. And I made the unfortunate assumption that, like, Kentucky would just be like green or yellow fields. Yeah, not a desert, but just like boring yellow or green fields. And I thought that would be what Kentucky was like. I was unaware of how much game Kentucky had. And Cincinnati, quite frankly, like the lower southwest portion of Ohio. Like, because actually it's kind of at the foot of the Appalachian Mountains. And so it's a bit mountainous. And so even though I actually really liked the look of Cincinnati, it was a little bit rundown looking, a little bit, I guess, because it rains so much there. But it basically was like a city, but like in like a mountainous range, which was really freaking cool. I really liked the look of Cincinnati, and I really liked like Kentucky as well. Driving around there, it was all just mountains, and like mountain roads. It was really cool. The one thing though is that it was supposed to rain all day on that road, but I was lucky. Like, it was not raining at all. And so Audra was like, it was forecast to rain like all day today. I was really worried, but look, there aren't any clouds or anything. The weather is perfect. And then literally 30 seconds later, we just see a cloud of mist up ahead on like the mountain road. And then he's like, oh, what's that? And then we entered torrential downpour, and I couldn't see the road at all. Literally within 30 seconds. The weather's great. Hey, what's that? And there were some of those roads that didn't have any sort of, like, a couple of the areas of the road didn't have any, like, railway. Like any, like the rail bars, like whenever the side of the mountain is, like, steep. There was one particular part where it was, like, a very, very windy turn, and there was no, like, railway there to stop your car from just immediately tumbling off the side of the mountain. And that was where the torrential mist was at. So that was fun. Audra was holding onto the handlebars of the U-Haul, and I was like, and I didn't say anything, Audra, at the time, but I was thinking, what's that going to do to save us if we tumble down the mountain? I didn't think we would. I was like, how is that going to help us if we're like falling? But yeah, so we drove through Kentucky, and it makes you feel safe. Yeah, it's the reassurance. Okay. Yeah, so we drove through most of Kentucky, and we stopped at a Buc-ee's, and we got some snacks. And then at that point, I had driven about 5 hours, so I handed it off to Audra, and he drove through uh, the rest, like the last bit of Kentucky, and I fell asleep a little bit during that. And most of Tennessee. So we drove through Nashville. Like he woke me up around Nashville to take a look at that. And then we drove through there, and it was mostly just wooded tree area, which is it was pretty, but it was just like, you know, a little bit samey. I guess the trees were pretty. There was a variety in different foliage. I like the foliage. No, I beg to differ on that one. Okay, Tennessee was the second prettiest state. Actually, it was the third prettiest state. I think Kentucky, then Ohio, then Tennessee for me. Arkansas, I couldn't see. Okay, so we traded off at 30 minutes, about like 30 minutes before crossing the border into Arkansas. We were like 30 minutes. We had to go through Memphis. Okay. There is a reason I'm not ranking Texas on here. One, I don't like. I like Texas well enough, but it's not the prettiest state. It just depends on where you're at, but it's not the prettiest state of all time. So we got 30 minutes. Yeah, for Tennessee. Yeah. I couldn't see. Yeah. So we got to about 30 minutes before crossing into Arkansas, which was just on the outskirts of Memphis. And then I took over driving again. That we had he'd driven about 5 hours then. So I took over at that point, and I drove us over the Mississippi River Bridge. Like there's a bridge in Memphis that crosses over into Arkansas. And the Mississippi is along that. The Mississippi's massive. I think I've crossed over it once. I just didn't remember because I was young. But yeah, we crossed over the Mississippi River. And then at that point it was getting dark because we had dinner at that point. So I drove through all of Arkansas. And I'm going to be honest, Arkansas was the most boring part of the drive for me. One, it was really dark. Two, I could tell that it was just really flat. I couldn't quite see very well, but it was like very flat. And there were some wooded areas, but there was just a whole bunch of nothing. But also, one thing I noticed is that of all the states, people were the most adherent to traffic laws there. And that immediately put the fear of God in me. I'm not religious, but it put the fear of God in me. Because all of the trucks, like they had a speed limit for trucks and a speed limit for cars, which once again confused me because I was like, am I supposed to be going the trucks limit or like the car limit? So I decided to go the car limit, or like in between. But I noticed that all the cars and all the trucks were following the speed limit very rigidly, and they were all on the right side of the road. And only using the left side for passing. And that made me like put the fear of God in me because I was just sitting there thinking, there is not a single state where I have seen people actually follow that law. And if everybody here is following that law, that means the cops here must be absolute assholes. So I actually did adhere to the laws there, and it was actually very hard on my feet at that point to like maintain the speed limit because the gas pedal on like a truck is significantly harder to press down. Like it requires more force from your foot to press down than a car. And so at that point, my foot was like really hurting because I was getting into like the 15-hour stretch of driving. Well, it was like the 10-hour stretch of driving. Also, hi, Tib. How's it going? So you decided to split the difference and annoy everyone? What do you mean? I hope you've been doing well, though. Tib! Yeah, when you're towing an entire apartment, yeah, the gas pedal was actually really hard to press. Like, it took a lot of force from, like, your foot. I am curious what tip means. But yeah, so I drove through all of Arkansas, and I remember getting to Little Rock, and I was like, okay, this is close to the border. And I woke Audra up because I thought we were about to cross into Texas, and then he looked it up, and he's like, Remy, we're halfway. And I was like, what do you mean? We're only halfway through Arkansas. I have to keep driving through this. And so I drove for another 2 to 3 hours, like 2.5 hours until we hit like the Texas border. And then we drove another half an hour. We crossed over and we took another half an hour into Texas. And then before you hit like a gas station, Remy, wake up, we're still in Canada. No, God damn it, no. So we hit like a gas station in Texas, and we swapped off. And Audra was supposed to do the last like 5 hours to send it, like 3 to 4 hours to send us off home. At this point, it was about 1 or 2 in the morning. We were gonna get home like around 6 a.m. And so he had like 3 to 4 hours to go. And so we swapped off, and he's like, yeah, I can do it. And then we got like an hour in. I passed out during that, like, because I mean, I'd been driving 10 hours at that point. I was like, I'm going to take what time I can. And so Audra took over, and an hour later, he like, I think you nudged me. Like, you nudged me, and you told me like you were really tired and like we needed to stop. And at that point, I woke up and I was like, no, I will take us. I will take the ring to Mordor. And so I will take the U-Haul to our town. And so I took over. Yeah, he was really dizzy and woozy. So I took over and I drove like the rest of like the entire rest of the way there. And it was long, but we did make it. I think the last like 20 minutes, like the last like 40 minutes, I started getting really tired, but I was like, dude, we're almost there. You can make it. You can make it. Do it for the cats. Do it, get home for the cats. So we got home. And that was great. And we managed to unpack the U-Haul. Well, first off, I had driven like 15 hours. I wasn't planning to drive 15 hours, but we managed to do it. We did the entire trip in 28 hours over the course of 2 days. And I think I drove about 15 hours of that on like specifically on the Sunday. And I think the next day, like, I managed to get up for breakfast. So we went out and we got breakfast at a place to kind of celebrate. And then afterwards, Audra was like, yeah, we can unpack now. And I was like, Audra, I'm sorry. I have to die. And so I went and I passed out that entire Monday. I did not wake after we went out to go get breakfast. We got back and I passed out until Tuesday morning. Like, I was just not present on Monday in the like on this planet. Yeah, I struggle to sleep too, Audra. I think I just got really lucky because I was really tired because we'd been packing so much and stuff. But yeah, so I was just gone to the world on the Monday. And on the Tuesday, we managed to unpack the entire truck within like a couple of hours. So we did pretty good. And then we took the U-Haul, and then we did our re-clears, and then we did some preparation on Wednesday for OffKai, and then we went to OffKai on Thursday. So I think if we did not have the time that we had to like, if we didn't leave a day early, we would have been so pressed to like get the truck back in time to go to OffKai. But because we left a day early, that really was like the push, like the last little push we needed. So yeah, we got back on the sun, like on the basically the Monday at 6 a.m. And then we left to OffKai on like Thursday morning. Get to work, honey. Thanks, honey. Yeah. So then we went to OffKai, and this is where we hit the OffKai part of that. Sorry that it took a long time to actually talk about like the trip to Toronto, but that was basically it was a lot of work. It was fun. It was good to go see Audra's like friends and stuff in Toronto. Oh, good. good. So yeah, we flew to OffKai, and oh god, we got off the plane and we got an Uber, and then we got to the hotel. We ended up staying in there were 3 hotels all really close together to the convention center, and 2 of them were connected. So I think most people booked at the Marriott or the Hilton because they were connected by Skybridge to the convention center. But honestly, I feel like we lucked. I kind of liked what we ended up booking the Westin because those 2 were full. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I think the Westin was the best of the 3. The Westin was so much nicer than the other 2. But yeah, that was a 2-minute walk to the convention center. Oh no, what? It's I'm gonna die. However, I will say that after all of the trip in Toronto, my legs were killing me. So to go to OffKai immediately after that, I'm gonna go to a 3-day convention, and my legs are already dead from all this moving and walking around in Toronto. So rip that, I guess. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. I will say that just very quick, when I was talking about the gas pedal thing, we stopped at another Buc-ee's while we were in Texas. And we got out the car to get coffee. And I had I actually walked into Buc-ee's with a major limp. I straight limped my way into Buc-ee's and then found somewhere to sit down for a second and had to roll my ankle so I could stop limping. And then I was okay, let's press home. Cries. But yeah, so yeah, getting back to that, we went to OffKai and we checked into the Westin and we got our badge. And I will say, I think that's probably the one thing that I think has come out of the convention, that people may have seen on Twitter. It's very unfortunate that this was what happened. This was what the take that everybody who didn't go to the convention got from it. But there was a certain post that went viral on the Friday night, and it was regarding the party floor. They had put on the Discord that there was please make sure you take care of your personal hygiene because we have had to turn some people away because of how badly they stink on the party floors. I will put this out there to rest. It was not that bad. There were people that smelled, but I will say, no, it wasn't me. I wasn't stinky. I'm a stink tuber, but I'm not stinky. Okay? I'm putting that out there. I use my deodorant. I use my body spray. I have multiple body sprays actually. They smell pretty good. I've just got a stinky personality. Okay. What if the stinky is just self-preservation because it encourages everyone to socially distance from them? No. They keep trying to hang out and they keep raising their pits, and that's where it goes wrong. But yeah, there were, I think, a couple of stinky people in that line in particular. Because there was a pre-registration line, and the pre-registration line, a couple of people in there stunk. But I will say, the entire thought that the entire convention was just smelled like ass is not true. Yeah. It was only regarding the party floor. But basically, it was not that the convention did not smell that bad. It was a couple of bad eggs, and then there were, of course, if you got into a small cramped space, like an elevator or a very small room, then maybe it was a little because you're in close quarters with people and everybody's walking around, so you get the typical people who have been walking around smell. It's a tiny mix of sweat. But that's normal in a build any public area. But they basically the entire OffKai Discord, yeah, it blew up memeing about the smelly announcement. And and it went viral to the point where people were messaging Audra. Audra is not into VTubers at all. He knows about VTubers because of me. And he knows a couple of VTubers because they pop up in his feed, probably because of me. Not that I watch things in there, but I think just me being around him influences those to come up on his feed. But yes, people were messaging Audra saying, like, posting the picture, like, of the message from the Discord about the stink, and like being like, and it was being like, "Is this where you're at?" Like 3 or 4 people, right, Audra? They're gonna install dogs, and if the dogs barks and yaps, you can't enter. Yes, they actually did delete the message because it went viral. But I mean, nothing can stop. Once something has gone viral, you can't stop it. So now OffKai is the smelly convention. And it really was, like, it gained that reputation because of that one message. And it was not that bad, I do promise. But it's just funny that it happened. And that, like, people were messaging Audra being like, "Are you at the stinky place? Is this you?" They weren't asking him if he was stinky, but they're like, "Are you in that one stinky convention?" By people who don't watch VTubers. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so we got our pre-registration badges. And the next day we went to the convention. And I had several panels. I'm really kind of a panel type person. I really enjoy going to panels. And I'm not so good at meeting up with random people. I really want to do that. I think I did an okay job at talking to people, but I'm not. I wish I did got out of my shell a little bit more at OffKai. I think it's baby steps though. Next year, I want to try my best to be a bit more of a social butterfly than I was. But yeah, so we went. I did want to attend the VTuber like breakfast. There was like a VTuber breakfast meetup, and I wanted to attend that, but I think we I did meet a Mochi. It wasn't the Mochi in this chat, but I met my VTuber sibling Mochi. And she was really, really, really nice. But yeah, well, I'll get to that. Okay. So we were wandering around and I met on day 1, yeah, it's a fellow Mochi. I met my friend Asti, who he's been around here a couple times. I don't know if people would recognize him in here because he goes by Krusty Squash, I think, in this chat. So I met my friend Asti, who I've been friends with from 14 for like 5 plus for about 5 years or so. Which was nice because I'd never met him in person before, and he is a delightful human being. And so yeah, I met up with him and we walked around for a while, and we went to a couple panels together. I went to like the Hollow Stars one, and that was fun because there was like a whole bunch of jokes there. There was a joke about a Kool-Aid man, and like I feel like that's one of those you had to be there thing, but people were going, "Oh yeah," after that for like a couple hours, and then even at the end of the convention, if you heard "Oh yeah," it was probably people who went to the Hollow Stars panel. So we went and we did that, and I feel like I need to get my OffKai book out because I think that's how I better organize my thoughts. We did that, and we went to the end of the Ayami and Mint panel, and poor Ayami and Mint were having technical difficulties at that time, but they were doing their best. And then at that point, we went around and we got merch. And that was the beginning of my merch hell. I genuinely thought that I had done pretty good with merch. Like, I was like, it's okay. I only bought like, I know I got a poster from Lacia because I really wanted to go see Lacia's like panel, like booth area in the Artist Alley. Yeah, it was like endearing streamer scuff. Yeah. Which it happened like throughout the convention, but it was not too bad. Also, as I was checking into the hotel, I went up on the elevator, and then we were like it was filled with nerds, and we were all going to like a specific floor. And then we were all like, do they just all have us all the VTubers on the same floor? And then one of them was like, "Hey, I'm a VTuber, by the way. Let me give you my card." And I was like, "I'm a VTuber too." And so I gave them my merch, and they gave me their business card. And yeah, that was nice. And then I managed to see that same person like 3 times throughout the convention. Like, we just passed each other, like, coming and going from the Westin. And then I found out that they were the 3rd place person for this ribbon gate thing, which I'll talk about at the end, like, later on. But which that was good. Like, congrats to them. That was really cool. So yeah, I went to, I bought a whole bunch of stickers and keychains. I didn't think I bought too many, but whenever I laid out the spread at the end of the convention, I went, oh shit. Because honestly, I was like, I have a chronic problem with overbuying at conventions. And to be fair, it was a lot better than it was whenever I've gone to anime conventions, because my anime convention loot pile is like massive. But this one wasn't too bad for what it was. But it was still terrible. I don't want to talk about the hole that it put in my wallet, but it put a hole in my wallet, is all I'll say. But basically, we did find these cute Ita bags. Asti had pointed out there was a table that he had meant to go to. So we, like, because they were selling these, like, mint Phantom Ita bags, and I was like, I want a mint Phantom Ita bag. So I went with him, and we got them, and it was really cute, and it allowed me to kind of put in there the things that I was going to potentially give out to people for the rest of the convention. Like, I put my little stickers and my pins in there, and I was like, hey, if anybody wants a free sticker or button, like, feel free to ask. Just, like, in, like, the transparent section of my mint Ita bag. Yeah, it was a really nice bag. And that booth was only, like, 2 booths away from the Lacia Everlight one, which I really wanted to visit because Lacia is, like, such a wonderful artist, and she's also done so much, like, art back when I used to be, like, a huge Niji Sanji fan. Before what happened with the Doki thing. Now I still have some people from Niji that I support, but I don't go out of my way to like look at Niji Sanji debuts anymore. But I still, like, recognize Lacia from doing that, and as well, on top of that, she's done a whole lot of the VTuber models for the 14 community. And so I really wanted to go visit her booth. I know, like, she did Tiffy's, who's one of my mutuals that I talked to. And she's done Mia's. So I really wanted to, like, honestly get a poster and get, like, an autograph from her, because I'm, like, a fan of her. I'm, like, a big fan of her art. So I got the poster, and I also got a couple of, like, gotcha card things from her. What were the meet and greets? You talked to them on screens? Yes. I did not go to a meet and greet because, I'm going to be honest, with everything that was going on with the move, I forgot the way it worked was that you had to sign up for these lotteries. And if you won the lottery, you were allowed to purchase the tickets. It's the same way how it works with, like, Japanese culture and concerts and stuff like that. So I forgot to sign up for the lotteries for the meet and greets, so I didn't end up attending any of them. Yes, Mint was not an official. I don't know if anybody knows this. Like, Mint is my Oshi. And this was from, like, I've been a fan of her even, like, in a past life as well. But yes, Mint was not an official guest of the con this year because she was a guest last year, and you can't be a guest more than 2 years in a row. Well, in 2 years in a row, but they did have some unofficial meet and greets. And for those ones, I need to turn this down a little bit. It's a little bit loud. Although I do like this song. Okay, so some of them had unofficial meet and greets. And so Mint announced in advance that she was going to do a spit and greet, which wasn't really her actually spitting on people. But it was, like, her doing, like, making the motion. She was on a screen. So I guess a couple times throughout the convention, she met people on the screen and, like, had like unofficial meet and greets. They had VTubers. The intro. No, I didn't get to go to that either. I really wish I had got to go to the meet and greets. I'm sad. But it was funny that that she was doing that. Some people were actually excited for that, to get spat on. I don't think I'm that down bad, but you know what? Good for them. I'm glad they got what they wanted. Oh, hold on one sec. Okay. But yeah, so they had, one thing I didn't really talk about is that they had VTubers Like, they were not kidding. This is a VTuber con because they had VTubers everywhere. And when I mean everywhere, I mean everywhere. You know, there are VTubers in the panels. Industry booths had VTubers up on the screen really at any given any given time at like pretty much almost every booth. There was a VTuber up on the screen just talking with people, you know? They're just doing little meet and greets, even if they were like an indie, like a small indie or something. They were just always up there. Oh, I didn't see that, Audra. Oh, I must be a bad Mint fan. But yeah, so they had they had VTubers in there. They had VTubers like on these little basically these, oh god, what are those little robo vacuums called? Right now it's not coming to my head. We even have one at home. What are they called? But basically, gross DNA pile. Yeah. Roomba, there we go. Thank you. Okay, yeah, they had basically VTubers on these like Roomba monitors. Going around and either talking to people or like they had somebody walking with them as they looked like as these little screens went around like the artist selling merch booths, looking at all the merch from their screen and like having the person accompanying them but like help them purchase the merchandise, which was funny. And there was even like a couple instances where like the Roombas like found each other, and so these VTubers would like stop by like with the two Roombas facing each other and be talking to each other through their monitors on the Roombas. Which was really funny. It was really cute actually, like the two little Roombas talking to each other. Actually Roombas with people with the vacuum remotes, yeah. No, not AI. It wasn't AI. It was VTubers who were remote controlling the Roombas. So like, from what I understand, so like the VTubers would like remote control where the screen was going, and they just had somebody to accompany them, like, and the Roomba itself. But yeah, it was just funny. Like the amount of like Roombas, the amount of like screens with VTubers on them who were all like looking into the crowd and talking to people. There were a couple times where I caught various like VTubers that like big VTubers who were just chilling. Like one time we were walking around the artist alley, and there was like and I heard Senna was like, "Is that Matara and and Zentrea?" And hold on. One second. Yeah, I was like, was that like, is that Matara and Zentrea? I can literally hear them. And I looked at this Roomba, and I'm like, yeah, they're literally just there. Like the two of them just chatting on the Roomba. And there's like a line of people like meeting and greeting at them. And I didn't notice the line until I noticed the Roomba. But I was like, damn, literally just everybody's just chilling around there. But yeah, so we walked around a little bit. I didn't really meet any of my VTuber siblings that day. I met one. So I was walking around with Asti for a long time, and then we went and there was like a fan meetup tool that people were using to like schedule things that they couldn't get as like panels. And so the VTuber Orchestra, which my VTuber sibling Azure Sniper, he kind of is like one of like the main leaders of that like VTuber Orchestra, from what I understand. And they were doing like a performance just in the middle of like the main hall area. And so I sat down for a little bit because my legs were really tired. And I listened to them for a bit, and it was really good. Like they're all really, really, really talented people. So that was nice. We got to listen to them all playing. I tried to say hi to Azure after, but I think he was kind of busy at the time. So I just basically I just said hi, and I ended up taking a business card and then running over to my next panel. And then I met up with my friend Wisteria, which it was funny because she messaged me just before the convention. And she was like, "You didn't tell me you were going to OffKai." And I was like, "Oh, you're going? Oh." So I tried to meet up with her the best I could. So I met up with Wisteria, and at that point we walked and we got dinner, and I think at that point, like, I talked to her after the convention was over. Like, basically, that was me walking out of the convention for the day, was to just go and get dinner with her. Oh, I am skipping ahead a little bit. There were like several panels I went to, but I think the one that kind of sticks out the most to me from the Friday was there was a Shindigs panel, and I'm just gonna preface this with, I'm gonna be honest, I missed a lot of that panel, and there was a good reason for it, because it was one of the very few panels that we went to that was like 18 plus, and I don't know what was going on with that panel. Whenever we did get in the panel, like, basically it was 18 plus, and we didn't realize you needed wristbands, and apparently they only opened up the wristbands about a couple hours before the panel even started. You couldn't get wristbands before like 2 p.m. that day, and the panel was at like 5. So we got in line, and we realized we didn't have these wristbands, and they were beginning to filter people in, and we're like, oh shit, well, can we show our ID? And they're like, no, you can't show your ID. I'm like, well, we're very clearly over 18, and we also have our IDs. And they're like, no, you need to go get the wristband. So we had to go all the way downstairs and wait in a line for like 30 minutes of the, like, to get the wristbands, which at that point we'd missed the first 30 minutes of the panel to get these wristbands. But it do be how it is, I guess. That was like one of my major complaints about it. But yeah, we went. Yeah, that was probably one of the worst things of the convention. I feel like they could have given out the 18 plus wristbands when they were doing the registration. Because I mean, they didn't make you check them in every single day, you know? So once you had the wristband, you were fine. So why not just give it out earlier? But either way, we went back to the panel, and I don't know if anybody here watches Shindigs, but he's an incredibly creative VTuber who does a lot of like funny streaming overlay stuff, like where he'll like do voice effects and like make it look like he's like locked in a car, and like he'll like have it change perspective so to like chat, and there'll be like music blaring, and he'll change it so it's muffled in the car and then not muffled there, and like find really odd ways to make like for chat to interact with the stream. They're very creative, like really approach to it. He's kind of inspiring in a way, but at the same time he's also very, very memey. And whenever we went to that panel, he had like, I guess his normal like Pepe frogs and like these fish. And he was just like showing us various ones, like various of them. And he was like, basically, if the audience did not yell loud enough, they literally just got slammed by like the steel compressor thing and exploded. And it was like, and like his Twitch chat itself was basically redeeming whether the live audience should like clap or boo. And it was kind of wild. And then he had like these moments of like these Joel moments where like, yes, where like he had like, he's like, okay, I think it's time for it's Joel time. And like all these like, basically there is like a line of people with these like fish signs on the, along the front rows. And they started spinning the signs. And I'm like, why are they spinning the signs? And then like on the actual like projector screen, like, it just started saying, it just said Joel time, and you just heard Joel, 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 Joel. And everybody was spinning it, yelling Joel, 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 Joel. And like these 4 dudes in like suits and fish heads came walking by and like spraying people with water in the front row, just walking by as everybody's like chanting Joel. And I'm like, what is this? It was the cult of Joel. It was like it was very odd. It was funny, but it was memorable. Audra has a video about it. I'm gonna probably link it in the Discord. But yeah, so that was an experience and a half. So then we did that, and like I said, we went out to dinner with Wisteria. Yes, please post it in the media in my Discord. I would love to have it there. So we went out to dinner with Wisteria, and then we were going to go to the party floor, and that night, but we went up to Wisteria's room first, and then we drank like I drank like a drink while we were out getting dinner, and then I drank a small drink like a beer when we were in there, and then I passed out on Wisteria's floor, and then Audra had to drag me back because he was like, "Well, we could go somewhere," and I was like, "No, I'm dead. I'm deceased forever." So we went back and I slept the next day. But we got up and we went to the Michi and Kuro panel. Just stand. Okay, so we went to the Michi and Kuro panel, and basically I did that, and I did some time in the Artist Alley, and also finally went to the industry exhibit thing, which I checked out, and that was kind of cool. I got like an Elgato pin there. And then at that point, like that day, I finally met basically I finally met VTuber siblings that I talked to for more than like 10 seconds, which was cool. Yeah, I found it's in voice. Thank you. But yeah, I said hi. Like I met up with Ryo Kamo, my one of my siblings, and I also met up with Daigo, who pops around in the chat, like in the chat often, and they were really nice. Yeah, they were really nice to me, and we spoke for a little bit. I had a panel that I was trying to get to, so I couldn't stay for too long. But we exchanged our little merch stuff, and Ryo gave me a business card, a ribbon, and a couple of stickers. I really want like his. He basically had like a Ryo on Fire sticker. Am I still subscribed to him right now? I think my subscription might have run out for now. But it was like one of those "This is fine" stickers. I loved it. It was so cute. I wanted that sticker really bad when I saw that he was coming. And then Ryo, like, and then Daigo had his dodos. I really wanted his dodos, and I was able to get one of his dodo stickers, like using the skillet. It was really cute. Yeah, he made it. He said he made it himself, like in like Microsoft Paint. So yeah, I got a handmade Daigo sticker. and all this, so the nice Ryo stuff. So yeah, I went and I said hi to them, and then I went to my sibling panel, like another sibling panel. This was like Yuki and Yuna. They had like a game show thing. I wish I could have participated more than I did. But the way we ended up filing in, I ended up filing into the edge, and because it was a game show where you had to get up, there were like a couple people next to me that were just not very. They didn't really want to participate themselves, but because they were sitting in like between me and the aisle, I couldn't get up and participate. I was a little sad about that, but it's okay. It was still fun. I think there were a couple of them that I really could have answered. I really wanted to. But yeah, so I went to that, and then I came back out, and Ryo and Daigo were still there, so I said hi to them again. And I think not long after that, actually, it was around that time, around the Yuki and Yuna panel, yes, that Audra had Pathfinder. And some of you might already know what was going on here. But Audra had Pathfinder, so he left me at the Yuki Yuna panel to go do his Pathfinder that he does on Saturdays. And at that point, I was like, oh, okay, I'm just walking around alone. So I was glad to see Ryo and Daigo again. I talked to them a little bit longer. And then I went to... I knew that I had messaged Mochi, and then she said that she was coming into the convention center shortly, and I was like, oh, that's cool, I'll meet up with Mochi, another one of my VTuber siblings. So I went to go, I was like, this is perfect, because that'll give me more stuff to do while Audra is out doing his Pathfinder stuff. So I said hi to her, and then we exchanged merch, and I thought that we were going to, I assumed we were just going to exchange merch and talk for like a couple minutes and leave. But then she actually went to like introduce me to her friends, which was really nice. So like she introduced me to like 3 or 4 different friends of hers, that I met, and they were all very nice too. And I was like, I don't want to be alone at the convention. I don't really like walking around alone at like in crowded areas. I kind of get spooked. But so I was. since she had introduced me, I was like, that's really nice. Maybe they won't mind if like I'm just like an extra person tagging around. So I asked her like, do you guys mind if I just hang out? Because like my husband's away. Like he's playing Pathfinder, and they said they were okay with it, which was nice. So I tagged along with Mochi and her friends, while they went and did the artist alley, and we went around, and I bought more things at the artist alley. That was really fatal. There's another thing I purchased at the artist alley that I didn't even tell you, Audra. I got another art commission as well, and at some point I'm gonna hear back regarding that. That's not even pictured in my merch spread because I purchased it for later. But I'm gonna have art that I commissioned at the artist alley because I feel like I always have to get at least one if I can help it. So yeah, I bought a couple more things at the artist alley, which was really fatal, but at the same time it was like nice to still hang around with people. So then I was walking around them, and then Audra told me, oh, like the DM's his laptop is like, well, his computer is like black screening, which is not good. So like it might not be looking good for Pathfinder. And I was like, well, that's not good. Like technical issues suck, you don't want somebody's PC to black screen. And so I was like, oh, it sounds like he might be getting back. And so then he came back, and I was like, okay, he's back now. Thank you for letting me hang around, Mochi. And then she was like, yeah, I'll say hi to you at the convention. I was like, yeah. I had her merch, which was really cute. She gave me this keychain, which I attached to my badge holder later. And like 3 different stickers, and they were all really cute. So then I went to... Audra was like, what are we doing next? And I was like, well, we're going to go to the OffKai concert later, but honestly, Mochi's the only person I know that's actually going to this thing. So we thought about finding Asti, but Asti said he was going to go to the party floors, which I didn't want to go to the party floors and instead of the concert. So I was like, well, maybe we won't do that. What about Wisteria? And then I remember that Wisteria was drinking that day because she was partying it up. So she wasn't going to go to the concerts either. And then at that point I was like, you think Mochi would care if we hung around her for the convention? And so admittedly we went back to Mochi after that, and we're like, so we're going to the concert and you're going to the concert. Do you mind if we still keep tagging along? I'm sorry, because like she didn't have any of her friends. None of her friends were going to the concert either. So I was like, why not like have people that we're still going to, that we still at least have some familiarity with, which was nice as well because her husband's not into VTubing either. So it was kind of like Audra had somebody to talk to that wasn't into VTubing. You could bond over your lack of being into VTubing. So they went and they did so we went with them to go get dinner. And we went to go get dinner, and that was the dinner was good. There was like these like market thingies, stall thingies, and they had like a variety of food, and it was kind of like this food court thing. It was really interesting. I ended up getting like an acai bowl and like a rose lassi. I almost got a mango lassi, but I'd never drunk lassi before. So we went with like Mochi and her friends, and we ate there, and then Audra disappeared again, and it came back. And then yeah, I wish I had tried the mango lassi. The rose lassi was good too, but it was like less sweet. Not that I know what mango lassi is like, but like either way, it was kind of nice to have something that wasn't like greasy. So that was a nice change of pace. So yeah, he went to the washroom, guys. I'm sorry, Mochi. It's V sibling Mochi, not Mochi here. Are you telling me? Huh? I'm waiting in anticipation. Okay. I'll continue. Wait more. No, I'm not gonna not gonna finish this thought yet. Okay. All right, so I'll keep going. All right, so then we walked back and VTuber sibling Mochi's friends like left because they were not gonna go to the concert, and Mochi and I started to line up, and then we realized that they were passing out these wristbands. Once again, it's the damn wristbands, like in preparation for the concert, and they hadn't mentioned anything about it like that I could see beforehand, which was like wild because I don't know, this is something that you would want to know about. And like I had looked up stuff about the concert beforehand, so to see like suddenly see, oh, we need this wristbands that like we didn't know we had to have. We actually we were afraid we weren't going to get in, but we got in the line. If it lessens the mouthful of saying VTuber Mochi, you can refer to them as con Mochi. Well, no, that because that makes it sound like they're a con artist. They're not. It's different. Yeah. But yeah, so we got in line and yeah. You see what I mean, right? We got in line and we hoped we would get in, and thank God we actually did. But we ended up in the pit, like at the very back of the pit, which was actually a little bit of a blessing, I'm gonna be honest. Because if we were in the middle of the pit, I don't want to be in the middle of a pit. I'm through with mosh pitting. I mean, I was never like a huge mosh pitter, even like in my early 20s. But I don't want to I don't want to be in the middle of like a crowd there. That kind of falls into the anxiety attack thing. So luckily we were at the back of the mosh pit, and like I'm gonna be honest, at that point my legs were killing me, and I think all of our legs were killing us, so we were able to use that opportunity to kind of sit down and stand up and sit down between like each of the performances. The actual lineup for OffKai Live was crazy. The only person who I didn't know there was Yumemi, and she had like amazing vocals. It was interesting because she performed live alongside her VTuber model. Like her VTuber model part was pre-recorded, but she actually was there like live herself and singing along with her VTuber model, which was like a really interesting way of performing. So she came on first, and she was really good. And then Tomoko was next, and I think she's not as well known as some of the later people, but I know her from Twitter, and I was excited for her like before the concert because I knew from Twitter that she has an absolutely outstanding voice, and like she killed it. Like Tomoko was fantastic. Yeah, also while everyone was standing and vibing, me and VTuber Mochi's husband were just sitting, and we shared a moment where we looked at each other and just nodded in unison. Yeah, they were just like during the performances, like VTuber Mochi and I would stand up like to like when every song started and like vibe to it. But then like both Audra and her husband were just on the floor, just like they didn't need to stand up. They don't know what's going on. So they were just like chilling both on the floor together. But yeah, so Tomoko was awesome. And then after that, like Obi Katie Cat came on, who Katie Cat's like Katie's one of our VTuber siblings as well. And she was also really good. She did like a metal thing, and she was there in person as well as, and she brought like Cottontail and another friend of hers on as well. And they did like heavy metal sets, which was interesting. And I know a lot of people. Yes, Obi Katie Cat was there in person, which was like wild. And they performed, and it was really good. Yeah, like. So I know, like, that was, like, a lot of people were really hyped. I'm gonna put this out there, like, the crowd was wild. They were running in circles. I mean, they were doing Wodage. For anybody, I'm just gonna write that out. For anybody who doesn't know what that is, make sure you Google it. But they were doing, like, Wodage like, basically idol performance, stuff throughout the concert. And they were, like, wild and running around in circles, moshing, doing the Woda chants. The hi no type stuff, you know? Yeah, she was fully cosplayed as herself as well. So that was really cool to see her perform live. So So yeah, she performed, and like both, like all of them killed it. I'm gonna put it out there. All of them killed it. At that point, I think, you've almost peaked. I'm sorry, Tim. On the bright side, there's always like next year, maybe. I tell you, this convention is worth going to. If you enjoy VTubers, come to this convention. It is so good. Okay, so then after that, VTuber Mochi had come there to. Wait, I was supposed to invite you. Well, then come with me next year. I'm inviting you next year. Come with me to OffKai 2026. The flight alone fears. Oh, it'll be okay, Mochi. I understand. Yeah, we'll go. Finn, come as well. Come to OffKai. Everybody, if you want to come to OffKai, I will be at OffKai 2026. Come hang out. It'll be fun. But yeah, so after that, Unnamed came on, which they have a history, but they were also really, really, really good. I know them from like a past life, and I knew that they were a good singer too. So I was also looking forward to their performance, and they actually kind of had like this big moment. They were like amazing with their vocals. Watch, we all show up and I'm not gonna bail on you. I actually, like, I straight up, like, I'm going to be there next year. I had, like, a great time. Like, if I didn't go, it's because I died, which, knock on wood. Let's not do that. But yeah, so, like, yeah, let's not do that. I knocked on the wood. So we went to then Unnamed came on, and Unnamed was really good, and they also had like a kind of a big moment during their performance as well. They use like a male model, like I do, you know. They're non-binary, but they actually like announced a model reveal for themselves, like in the middle of the concert. They live tweeted, which was wild. So like they're gonna like debut like a female model now for the first time, and it was kind of like a big moment, and they were like crying afterwards in the song, and everyone was like, it's okay, and like comforting them in the in their announcement, like and said like and everything. Like it was a really good moment, and like honestly it's a great time to announce, like if you're wanting to like make those explorations, you know, because it's Pride Month and everything. So yeah, that was a great moment during the concert. During during Unnamed's performance, Yusan, and they absolutely killed it. So, and then afterwards, making sure I'm not missing anybody. No, I think like there were 6. Okay, so afterwards, that like Narissa Ravencroft from Hololive came on, and she sang like kind of a lot more like less like popular like Japanese like idol songs or anime songs, you know, or like original music, but she sang like a lot of covers of like popular like English songs. And it was funny because one of them like she just straight up, she was singing and then she like made like a sniff sound. She was like and everybody laughed because of the stupid like smelly con meme. Because we all knew what she was referencing, and the fact that she knew is crazy. And somebody on the OffKai Discord was like, "Did Narissa just sniff us? We made it for real, for real." And we just like laughed like the hell of it. Well, I don't remember what it was, what she was singing at the time, but it was just funny as hell. Yeah, Narissa was good, and then you know what? Kizuna I was there, and that was crazy because that's the first time, like, one that Kizuna has ever performed in the US, and 2, this is like her first comeback, like her first like kind of comeback anything in like 3 years, because she's been on hiatus for 3 years, and she's like, for anybody who doesn't know, she's like basically the OG VTuber. So it was a massive deal that she was there, and she was also really good. and her new songs were really good as well. And she performed an encore, and it was just a great time, honestly. So like that was a great experience. I'm so glad I went to the OffKai live. Yeah, she debuted 3 new songs. It was wild. So yeah, we did that, and then we went with a little bit of time that we had left. Audra and I went to the Yabai market. And the Yabai market was the Yabai market. I'm gonna be honest. This is dead honest for me. The art was good, but I wish that there were more, Narissa Ravencroft / Elizabeth type VTubers, and less Gura and Bibu. Like, like if that kind of sums up the type of VTuber lewds there were there. The art was good, but I wish there were more, VTubers that were not, small coded, like kind of, I don't know. But yeah, you guys know what I mean. But either way, like the actual like quality of the art was good. I just wish there was more like ladies, I want to go into the Yabai market to look at ladies, not like girls. So yeah, that we went to the Yabai market, and then we tried to go to the party floors because it was like, yeah, a little bit more. Some of them were like, police open up. Police open up. Yeah, that was a little uncomfortable, but at the same time, like the art itself was good. Like no knock on the artists. They were very good artists. And then for people who like those VTubers, it's probably like perfect for that. Then we tried to go up to the party floor because I wanted to at least try to check it out. And I'm like, dude, this is like we're in like the last 2 hours of my 20s. I'm sorry. I've ascended into hag years. I finally did it, guys. I'm becoming dust. So, I became dust. So I'm actually talking to you. I'm a ghost right now. But sorry. I'm dust. I'm the dust tuber. Don't worry. But yeah, so I wanted to like spend the last couple hours of my 20s, actually trying something. So I went up to the party floors, and then that's where I had the it was really cramped. There were people everywhere. It was already kind of in wrap up anyway, but at that point I should have known my limits and known that I'd had an anxiety attack. But like, as I said earlier in the stream, I needed to get out of there. So I was there for Audra and I were there for about less than 10 minutes. Oh, sorry, maybe like 10-15 minutes at most. Yeah, 3 feet wide hallway. It was not a good vibe for me in particular because of that anxiety I get being in crowded areas, crowded enclosed spaces. So we left and we walked back to the hotel room. And at that point, Audra asked me to sit down and close my eyes. And then he literally just pulled a cake out of a drawer. Like he put it on the table and he's like, yeah, so this was in the drawer. And he's like, there's this cake here, and it was really intricate too. It was very nice of him. I posted it in the Discord, but I'll share it here too. Yes, he lied to me, the bastard. He said he was playing Pathfinder, but what he was doing was he got on public transportation, and which he went out to like this really sketchy like suburb, to a bakery, like the nearest bakery, to pick up this intricate cake that he had ordered like when we arrived in San Jose, and then Ubered it back in like 2 hours, over the course of 2 hours, and told me he was playing Pathfinder. He was playing Cake Finder. Okay, so I was expecting the cake to come into play when Audra went to the bathroom earlier and was one enter button short of asking if you're implying he pulled the cake out of his ass. Not quite, but yeah. Not quite. But yeah, So he I have the pic. Like I think we got the picture in the Discord. I posted it in there. Did I put it in general chat? I think I did. I'm gonna copy the image link and then change this here. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna save it. Save image as cakey. No, not on OneDrive. No, nobody likes OneDrive. Okay. 2025 cake.jpg. I'm gonna replace the pad crop prow with cakey. Okay. So there's the cake. Like, it was a really nice cake. It was like toasted almond, and like he got on like all my theme colors on it and everything. I don't remember. Yeah, he had to. Oh, you're saying when I went to the bathroom, that was my Walmart order for this cake, spatula, plates, and cutlery. Also was playing Pathfinder, found the path of the cake. I had to run back to the hotel to pick it up. Yeah, so he left in the middle of us getting dinner to go get the cutlery for the cake, and then told me he was going to the bathroom. But yeah, so it's got like the dream catcher on it, and like these really pretty roses and like the music notes and everything, and it's all with my theme colors. It was a very, very, very nice cake. And it was like, it wasn't too sweet or anything. It was a good cake. Thank you, Audra. I wouldn't have had a cake for my birthday otherwise. He's saying happy birthday. It was very nice of him. But yeah, so that was we did then. So that was basically at midnight on my birthday. We have another ad break in 20 seconds, so I'll finish off the OffKai stuff after. I don't think I'm gonna play a game tonight based off of like just the amount of time I've been yapping, and it's already 10:33 at night. But I will finish the OffKai stuff. Yes, yes. Anyway, I shall see you guys in 3 minutes. Let me run the ad break now. Get up, get a drink, go to the bathroom. Yeah. Sorry about that. Break done. I hope everybody got their water or got their bio break done. So just to quickly go over that, the Sunday was like a half day at the convention, so it wasn't a full day. I think that day we met up with Asti again. And so we kind of just did our last big rounds of the oh shit. We did our last big rounds of the artist alley. There was a panel that we went to in the morning. What was it? Oh, I went to the Doki panel, the Doki Bird panel. So she was doing like a Q&A there, so we did that. And then we did go to another panel. We went to this dungeon crawl panel. This was not until later. Basically, while I was in the artist alley, there was a certain person. Like, I'll just put it out there. People want to connect things. Like, there was a person that I really, 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 really wanted to get my stuff signed by. Like, I wanted their autograph. And so I had learned that they were in the booth and they were giving autographs. And so I wanted to get one of my things signed because, you know, it was my birthday on the Sunday. And I was like, why not? I'm a massive fan of this person. And so I went to go get my thing signed, and then they were out of the stuff at the time, and then they weren't signing at the time. And so I was like, oh. But then they said, hey, we're about to do a potential restock of all the things. And I was like, well, shit. And so I stood in the line for about 30 minutes, and I was able to get one of the things, but they still weren't signing, which was, I was like, oh, I guess they're still not signing. So then I went to go to another booth, and I ended up buying my mouse pad at that point. And then I looked back, and then they were signing, and I was like, oh, I can't get my autograph. Yippee! And so I got in line again. And as I was in line, there was only a couple of us left, and there were these girls that were just completely just jumping through the line and cutting in line to get autographs from this person, at the booth. And I was like, what the heck? And then there were only 2 people left. There was me and this other guy at the booth. And then the end of the line thing was there. And then this girl just freaking bashes her way in and was like, can you sign my 4 things? And then the person signed her 4 things. And then the person, the people, the staff said, oh yeah, the person's tired. They're not signing any more things. And I wanted to die inside. That made me, it's not the person's fault. It is not the person's fault at all. Because, they'd been signing all day. But I was extremely, extremely sad. That was probably, that and the wristband situation were probably my only complaints about the entire convention. I'm going to be honest. But I was very, 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 very sad by that because I was a massive fan of them. And basically the equivalent of 3 people cutting in line and then getting all their things signed and then leaving was I got basically punished for trying to be a good person and wait my turn. I know. It was just me and one other guy, and they just turned us away, and I felt very distraught at that point. But it is what it is. But I was like, it was my birthday, and this girl cut in front, and she got her things. I shouldn't try to be a good person anymore. Why do I even try? I should just be bad. I should cut in lines and get my autographs in, man. I'm still not gonna do that, but I was a little bit put out that basically by trying to do the right thing, I didn't get what I wanted to do. This is the beginning of my villain arc for sure. I do wish I was able to get the autograph though. but it's okay. Maybe if they come to OffKai next year, I can get the autograph from them. But yeah, that was like the person I wanted an autograph from the most. Unfortunately, but it is what it is. Maybe I can do meet and greets next year in OffKai. I think if I didn't miss the meet and greet lottery, like if I wasn't an idiot and missed all the meet and greet lotteries and then remaining ticket purchases, I could have got some of the tickets I wanted to get. But it's okay. Next year. But yeah. So afterwards, we went to this like basically dungeon crawl panel, and it was really cute. Like the VTuber there, she had like this otter mascot, and she had basically constructed an entire like RPG out of it. Yeah, it was an interactive panel, and you were and she had like given people, like everybody in the audience, these red cards and green cards. And we were both supposed to all vote based off of the red cards and green cards and clapping and various other things like that. And it was super interactive. It was a very cute panel. So we basically did like a mini RPG in there. And then after that, we went with Asti to the closing ceremony. And we did that. And then we went out to dinner. We went out to like a sushi bar. Which was nice, and then they bought me dinner. I wanted to pay for my own dinner, but they're like, no, you're not allowed to. It's your birthday. And I'm like, I'm gonna pay for dinner for everybody. I want to pay for dinner. Damn it. So then we went out to dinner, and then we went and we got boba. And I'm pretty sure I saw one of the volunteers from the panel of the person whose autograph I wanted, and I was a little bit I didn't tell that like Audra and Asti that, but I was like, I'm pretty sure that's one of the staff members that told me I had to leave. Well, I mean, it wasn't like necessarily a staff. They just said that the person was tired. But yeah, I was like, that's one of the staff from the panel. I'm slightly sad again, but it's okay. We're moving on. We're moving on. But yeah, I got my boba, and then we went back to the hotel room. Did we get to the hotel room before we went out to dinner? Maybe. But we got cake. Asti came over and he had some of the cake. Yeah, we did cake before dinner, you're right. You stormed up to them and yelled in their face, and they were like, I don't work here. Yeah, no, I don't do that. Like, I mean, I don't know how introverted I come across online, but I'm definitely more introverted in person. Like, I'll talk to people if I'm talked to, but I find it very, 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 very nerve-wracking to talk to people unprovoked. I'll kind of let people walk all over me a little bit. But yes, so I got the boba. We got dinner. We got the boba after cake. Thank God Asti ate some of that cake, because that was a massive cake, and Audra and I were really struggling to eat that cake with just between the two of us. So Asti eating some of that cake was very helpful. So yeah, and then we walked around the park in San Jose, and then we came back to the convention center. And they were still partying. Like, the convention was over. The convention center itself was closed, but like they had a TV, like and massive speaker, and like this camera hooked up to like a battery backup, and these VTubers were live streaming to specifically for that TV, like to go to that TV. And like we're able to see the audience on the camera. They were in like this like dip basically in front of the there was kind of like this incline in front of the convention center that kind of led downwards. And so everybody was like sitting in there like it was almost like a concert venue to an extent, and like yeah, in the courtyard area at like 9 to 10 p.m. at max volume. And like there were all these VTubers coming on and singing, and like all these like, I mean, I say weebs lovingly because I'm a weeb too. But yeah, all these weebs were like, yeah, like doing Wodage chants, and Fighting Dreamers came on. Yeah, hey Daigo, how's it going? Yeah, weebs unite. Yeah, Fighting Dreamers came on, and I'm not gonna lie, like the like the "We Are Fighting Dreamers," that part came on, and all of them fucking Naruto ran at once, and I lost my shit. It was it was hella funny, but also like honestly good on them. It was like 50 people Naruto running across the entire like the entire courtyard area. Yeah. And it, like, you know, the part where it's like right here, right now, whoa, and everybody like jumped and like during the part as well. And I was like, how do these people still have all this energy 3 days into a convention? It's over and you guys are still running around and jumping. Like, I can hardly move. I don't know how you guys are doing it, but they were like having the time of their lives. And honestly, like it was very nerdy, but it was hype at the same time. Like good on them. Some of them were very good dancers. So yeah, they got that con high going on for sure. But yeah, they had like they were like having their best lives out of the convention, outside the convention, and some of the singers were good too. I do think the gain on the speaker was turned up a little too high because it was struggling to keep up with some of the music plus like this like the stream. You still feel it in your bones, mostly me missing seeing all the VT friends. Yeah. Yeah, it was very distorted. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I really wish, like, for me, normally I would go to Anime Fest every single year. And so I'm used to that being like a 4-day con. I actually really kind of wish that, I feel that because OffKai was a 3-day con and I'm used to 4-day cons, I kind of feel like there was a day missing from the convention. And that's just my own opinion. Like, I don't mean to, not to sound like unsatisfied. I'm used to it being an extra longer. Yes, I think that was like one of my big takeaways from that as well. Like, just to kind of go like over that one last thing. That was basically the end of the convention. Like, we went and did that, and then we went to bed, and then we got up and flew home the next morning. But I think my big takeaways from that convention in general was just how cool. I mean, everybody was really nice to start off. Like, everybody was extremely kind. Everybody was very cool to meet. And like I have felt like kind of fired up and inspired by these people. And now there's so many things that I want to do. I need to figure out how to do them, but like logistically, no, I get you. Maybe they increase to 4-day if they reach a certain metric. That'd be very nice if they did, like, because that would give more time for like panels, so they're not all like squished together as well, you know? Which would help, I think, a lot. That, and if they had more panels going on at once, I don't know. I'm used to like Anime Fest basically has panels in every single panel room, like almost the entire time, all the entire time that the convention is running. So yeah, they didn't. That convention center has room for them to grow. Like, I think that they were joking that they double in size. The convention doubles in size every year. And I do think they have room for it to double in size at least once. Just maybe not more than once. But I think maybe they would have to look at it for like a different center for the year after that. But I think they can afford to use that convention center for a convention size double what this one was. This was about 6,000 attendees. So if they end up having 10,000 attendees next year, I do think the San Jose convention center can take it. Yeah, I do like the space they used a lot. And the San Jose like area was nice too. I really liked that area. The food was close by. There was plenty to do. They had like various like clubs. Like they had like this thing called the Oshi Bar, which I didn't hear about any of these things until other VTubers were talking about it. All I'm hearing is that they should see that address. No, you can't host FanFest there. FanFest is too big, unfortunately, for that. I heard that Oshi Bar was mixed, unfortunately. Like, I think V-Sibling Mochi had told me that it was okay. I think it was just that there was a little bit, it was a little, there was like a couple of things, like the drink line was, like a couple was disorganized or stuff like that. But Las Vegas isn't working either, though, is it? No. I hope that FanFest is never held in Las Vegas again. I'm gonna put that out there. I hope that they have FanFest in California next year or this year, whenever it's gonna end up being. Oh God, if it's this year, then I got a plan to go. If it's not in Vegas. If it is in Vegas, I'm not sure anything can get me to go to Vegas again. I hated Vegas so much. But yeah, I heard that I want to go to FanFest one day. It seems like a lot of fun. Okay, I've heard that it was great, and aside from the one that I went to, if it is in Vegas at that convention center again, I will not be going. Yeah. That was not necessarily Square Enix's fault, though. That, I think, from what I understand, it was the Las Vegas Convention Center's staff. Like, their staff was the ones that kind of messed it up. But yeah, for the Grand Hall in like San Jose, like the convention center there, it was perfect for. Well, the thing is that convention center, we had 6,000 people there. I think it could probably host like a 10 to 15K sized con. I don't think it could go really above that capacity, but I think for that size, it would work. No way, San Jose. Yeah. But yeah, no, I absolutely would love to go again. Like that was a very good area to like San Jose itself. I really liked. The airport was nice too. It was nice and nice and small, and there was no issues getting anywhere. Line up in 150 degrees for 3 hours and don't bring water. Yes, that happened at Final Fantasy Fan Fest whenever I went in 2023. We had to line up outside. We were not allowed to bring water. So everybody was standing outside in 150 degree weather, like Fahrenheit weather, and they were not allowed to bring water at all or drink. I mean, it's not like the rule was you can't drink water, but you weren't allowed to bring water bottles in. So nobody had their water bottles. And like, they are lucky there weren't as many medical emergencies as there could have been. Like, one of the kind of big streamers in the 14 community, Lamatod, he walked outside and he saw somebody having like a stroke in the heat, you know? And honestly, they're very lucky that it was not worse than it was for a FanFest. Because there could have been way bigger issues, like between that and the accessibility issues, like what they did with the wheelchair people and like the people with like with canes and like basically anybody who needed some sort of mobility accommodation. They screwed with them so hard. There was supposed to be areas where they could have gone to, particularly for the concerts during FanFest. And they made them go to like the back walls where they couldn't see anything, which was terrible. Based on past years of Fanime, the San Jose venue can host 27K. Yeah, then definitely they can host. They'll be fine with for a while. Then I think it could probably double, like have 2 more years of OffKai doubling in size before they need to change over. Then probably. My friend Wisteria was saying she loves Fanime. That's like one of her favorite conventions. So, I think I would struggle to go travel more than outside of Texas for an anime convention, but I do think for like OffKai I would go again. OffKai was a very, very good experience. I feel a fire lit under me to like improve myself. I think I want to try to get more into video editing and get more into that. And I want to I want to try to work on my brand stuff more, like as well. Like I think that's kind of it was very, very inspiring to see some of the things that people were doing, because some of the things that they were doing were so cool. And I feel like I could be doing so much more than I'm doing, you know? I don't know. I think a lot of other people felt that way as well. Yeah. Oh my god, I can hear Zio. He's screaming. But yeah, I think that was like the biggest takes away that I had from it. So I think the people were lovely. The area was lovely. the convention itself, like the panels were good. Yeah, that's the best part. We were all lifting each other up. Yeah, I feel a fire, but it's just COVID. Oh no. Yeah. Also, all the VTubers went home, and now almost everybody is sick or has COVID. I'm praying that I don't get it. I tested negative for today, but Audra also tested negative yesterday, and then he has it today. So, hopefully I don't get it, but I also live with the guy. You know, I'm gonna be drinking emergency religiously. Yeah. Some of the people though, like one person said they were masked the entire convention and they still got it. So I think they're just unlucky. And then like I know Asti got sick. I think VTuber Mochi got sick. A couple other people I interacted with got sick. So yeah, you can't trust the health of other people for sure. But we'll see how we feel. I would suggest, like, for anybody who was at OffKai, get yourself some emergency packets. Not like, I'll just type it in chat. Yeah, some emergency packets. And drink that every single day for, like, the next 2 weeks, man. Because I have some phlegm, but other than that, I'm feeling good. I thought my throat might feel a little weird, but last night. But aside from that, like, I'm fine as well for now. But you never know. I could be incubating something. But I tested negative for now. Like, I went to work and I pushed rows of 10 carts for 3 to 5 hours a shift. Oh. Damn. Yeah, I'll cross my fingers for the both of us, Tycho. I do hope we don't get sick. But it is what it is. Particularly, like, I was gonna have some, like, birthday celebration stuff. And, like, I'm supposed to do that this weekend. If I get sick, I might have to, like, postpone it. Because I don't know if I can do really long streams if I'm feeling very unwell. So hopefully I continue to not be sick. And then I was supposed to hang out with friends the weekend after that for 4th of July, and I'm not going to do that at all since Audra and I need to isolate. I think if we're good in 2 weeks, then maybe we'll be okay, but yeah, my throat has been broke for weeks because I just got over strep throat week before OffKai. Yeah. Audra's been coughing the entire time, and he just immediately got sick again. Yeah, absolutely health tech's priority. But yeah, so I think that's my big takeaway from it. Like I said, like the goods of OffKai was like in general, like the con itself was very, very well run. And the area was lovely. The programming was great. The people really made up the heart of it, and they were all great. I was able to, like, I'm a very introverted person in real life, but I was even able to talk to some people. Like I talked to like a few people, and we exchanged little merchant card things as well, and I've never done that before. So yeah, I was able to talk to several people throughout the convention. Which I'm proud of me for that, but at the same time, I do want to come out of my shell a little bit more than I did next convention. So we'll see. That's my prayer there. Yeah, I had fun despite not being into YouTubers except Remy. I kept telling you could put Lime on your card, and you're like, I just see Lime on my feed, but you like Lime. You could be a Lime fan now, right? You could be a Shindig stan. Like he could be your Oshi Shindigs because of Joel. Joel time. Yeah. Hold on. But yeah, so yeah, those were good. I think for the bad, unfortunately, the bad were the con crud. I saw some Vine Sauce merch at the con, which was pretty surprising. Oh, really? Oh, hold on, I gotta sneeze. Maybe I don't have to sneeze. No, I feel like I hate when you have like a passing sneeze stuck in your nose. Ah! Just let it happen. Yes, I bought the goof juice. Like they had Gamer Sups was there, and I had never tried Gamer Sups, but they had like a couple of like their punch bowls there, and I tried like Moist Critical's goof juice, and it was actually pretty good. It was like strawberry kiwi, and I was like, I kind of want to buy it, so I bought the goof juice. I tried like Shy Lily's Caribbean blowhole thing as well, and that one was pretty good too, but I really wanted the goof juice. So we got some Moist Critical goof juice now, and now I'm like, Gamer Subs, maybe Gamer Subs is pretty good. Maybe people are onto something with that sponsorship, because damn, that was they're actually, it's pretty good. So maybe I'll be like, hey Gamer Subs. Well, hey Gamer Subs, hey, can I partner with Gamer Subs? I don't know. Maybe one day, but for now, at least I tried it. It was pretty good. I have that to drink. So the random wrestler standees were really funny. Yeah. Yeah, I think that those were the big positives there. The one negative things were just the wristbands. I think the wristband situation could have been better. And also the girls cutting in front of line that stopped me from getting my autograph from the person I really wanted my autograph with. Like, the autograph from. So, but aside from that, it was like a fantastic experience, and I'm so glad that I got to meet, you know, so many cool people, whether it was just friends that I've known for a long time, like Asti, or like Wisteria that I met for the first time at FanFest. It's funny, the last 3 times that I've gone, like, I saw her the last time I went to California as well. And I was like, what are the odds? I just keep meeting Wisteria every time we go to California. Yeah, they had standees of John Cena and the Dos Equis guy and Adam Page in the atrium at the very end of the thing, and they were standing next to Mint Phantom. It was funny. But yeah, I was glad to meet with old friends. Oh yeah, I don't know a whole lot about wrestling, so I recognized John Cena. And I recognized the Dos Equis guy, but I didn't recognize any of the other wrestler people. And I was like, Audra, who are those people? You seem to know who they are. And he's like, they're wrestlers. And I'm like, okay. But, yeah, I thought it was funny that they were all next to all the VTube standees. But yeah, so I was glad to meet old friends. I was glad to get to meet, like a couple of you guys, and, like, as well as, yeah, I was glad to meet VTuber siblings like Ryo and Mochi and Azure. I was glad to meet you, Daigo, and I was happy to meet, honestly, and meet some like new VTubers as well. You know, I wish I could have done a little bit better in getting out of my shell and kind of mingling with VTubers. But like, I'm glad for what I did do, and you know, there's always a chance to do that more in the future. I think I need to step out of my box to actually talk to people, not just at like a convention, but in general. I think that was when I wanted to RemiCon. You think I can host a convention? Audra, I can barely get out of my bed in the mornings. But yeah, no, it was so much fun, and I definitely want to it definitely lit a fire to me, and I definitely want to go again as well. I want to try to do what I can to like reach out to people, because the thing that I have done, like one of the things that I've like never that I'm not very good at is reaching out to people, because I'm afraid like one of the things that I'm afraid of, because I've seen it happening like a lot in the VTuber community, is people will reach out to make friends or do collabs, and people will just automatically assume that they're like trying to like worm their way into networking, and I don't want to do that. Like, so I'm afraid to ask people because I'm afraid that that's what people will think I'm like trying to do, you know? And so I'm like deathly afraid to ask anybody to play any games with me on stream or off stream. But I'm gonna try to make more of an effort to do that in the future. So maybe I can reach out and talk to some of these VTubers that I actually, you know, talk to at the convention, and maybe I can poke fingies, make more friends with like fellow VTubers more, you know? That's my hope. If anything, I think what I'd like to get out of this is to actually like talk to people more and like maybe collab with people more, because I think there's an awful lot of time that I spend just kind of in my own stream like I'm playing my game solo, but maybe I could reach out to people, but what if they hate me? what if anxiety? But that's my own problem, so. To be a little narcissistic, I love showing people my face bag. Daigo, your face bag was amazing. I freaking love that bag. Like, that bag is just chef's kiss. Thank you, Mochi. Yes, the bag was super amusing. We really liked that bag. Yeah, I thought a lot of people have the same feelings, or rather sentiment. How do people get over reaching out like that thing? I think, as silly as it was, I actually kind of wanted to attend the VTuber friendship panel, because I was like, how do I get over my anxiety of asking people and praying that they don't that they don't tell me no? Yeah. Sometimes you gotta take the plunge. Yeah. I really probably need to try to reach out more than I do. I was really happy that Flame asked me like right before going to the convention. Flame asked me like if I wanted to play Apex, and I was like, heck yeah, I want to play Apex. Nobody's ever asked me to play Apex before. So I played Apex, and that was a lot of fun. Like, I mean, I played it with like real life friends, but nobody actually wanted to play Apex, has ever asked me to play Apex online before, and I was like, I want to play Apex. So yeah, even if I stunk up the place with how bad I am at Apex. If they don't want to, no harm, no foul. If they say yes, then great. A new friend required. Yeah, I think I just need to get over the fear of being told no. I think I'm afraid of that people will assume the worst when I just genuinely want to reach out to people and talk to them. But it is what it is. I think in those you just need to like brush it off. And I think that's what I need to learn how to do. Yeah, Flame is great. He might also be part of the Apex Legends propaganda, but that's just me teasing him a little bit when he's not here. Yeah. No, it was really nice of him to do that. I would definitely, like, if people ask me, like, if he asked me to play Apex again, honestly, I want to play Apex again. I had a great time. Worst case, they say no and you do something else. That's true. Maybe I should try to reach out more. I think that's like, I need to try to do that. There's so many things like buzzing in my head that I want to do now after this convention, so. But I think that a lot of VTubers feel the same way. We all have a fire lit under our ass now of things that we want to do, so. But yeah, so that was my general OffKai takeaway. I'll definitely be going next year, so I guess if anybody wants to go, I will be around. You know, funny enough, I still have plenty of my sticker sheets and pins and stuff, so I will be definitely bringing them back again next year. And next year I'm going to bring a business card, because I should have thought about that. Like, so many people had business cards, and I was like, I don't have a business card. So that's something I need before. By do something else, do you mean stew in my head for the rest of the day about how that interaction went poorly? Honestly, mood, Tib. Nothing gets done with staying in your bubble from my experience. Yeah, that's so true. Next year, yeah, I want to make business cards and ribbons. I think those are like, if I can make business card, I want to make business cards, ribbons, and a keychain. I want to do a keychain as well. So if I can get like a keychain to give out to, in addition to the things I already printed out, I think that'd be nice. But also like I didn't know OffKai did the ribbon thing, so that's something to keep in mind. And definitely the business card. I think the business card is just good practice in general. The fact that I don't have one is something that I need to fix like pronto. Twyla, how are you doing? It has been 14 years. I'm going to stare at a wall and wonder why I hate bugging people. That's also mood too, guys. We gotta get out of the rut. I know how it is, because that's me too. A themed business card? I don't know how to make one, so I was looking at them on VGen, but I was thinking maybe I should make my own. I don't know. I feel like I could possibly make my own business card. I just need to sit down and like give it a go. Ooh, that sounds really cool, Daigo. Yeah. You should do that, Daigo. I'm doing all right. Happy birthday. I'm sorry I've been kind of busy. No, it's okay, Twyla. The trip went really well. I've been yapping about it for, oh my god, almost 3 hours. I was afraid that I would run out of things to talk about, but apparently I've been able to yap my ass off for like 3 hours now. What the heck? Apparently I can do Zatsudans. Oh yeah. You know, we were thinking about printing one out like that. The just like the frog in the room, like the they don't know I'm a VTuber. I kind of want to print out a couple of those for next year. But also like I'll make like an official like Remy ribbon for next year too. Clearly we missed out on the ribbon game, but I really screwed up on the business card game. So that I think I was going to commission on VGen, but maybe I should just try to make my own. A paper dream catcher that has my info on it, but maybe I could make like one that's in the shape of a cloud. But would that get messed up? Yeah, I want it to be able to fit in people's wallets though. So like I feel like, yeah, like a paper cloud mobile thing. And if I made it like that and made sure my information could still fit on it, then I think that would work as a business card too, right? I think that was something that like, I think like a conversation that like my V sibling Mochi and I were discussing. Because I think we exchanged merch and we're both like, and we literally both looked at each other and we're like, we forgot to make business cards. And I think I was watching her stream as well, and she said her friends like printed out like a QR code, like basically a stand-in business card for her later. So I which is good, but I need to get that on top of that myself. I just need to make my own business card. There were people who had just a white card with their Discord handle, yeah, or a normal business card shape, but a space on the side that has a pattern cut out to look like a dream catcher. Yeah. If the ribbon is interesting, why not make it a ribbon shaped like a rabbit? Unfortunately, I think if it's going to fit on the badges, it needs to be a specific cut for the ribbon, unfortunately. I suppose your face is more useful to the person looking at it later. Yeah. So I think that was my overall experience. I know, I can hear Zio. I need to feed him. I was going to possibly play a game, like maybe some more Expedition 33. But at the same time, I think I need to probably conserve energy because I'm starting on Friday, since we're gonna do the birthday anniversary. I can you guys hear? Can you hear him? Because he's loud. Meow. Yeah. But since I'm gonna be doing the birthday anniversary for 3 days straight, and I'm gonna be streaming from like 5 p.m. on 2 of the days, I probably need to conserve my energy today and just save that for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So, yeah. Do the QR trend to conserve space. You also need to worry about bent business cards in the bag. Yes, that's one thing. I do want to do I want to basically, I want some art on it. I want my logo, but I might need to condense my logo because right now my logo is my name on 2 lines. But it needs to fit on 1 line so there's more space. And then maybe I want to do a QR code to my card's website. But yeah, I'm gonna go get some rest. Yes, I'm gonna pray, knock on wood, pray that I don't get the post-con COVID crud. Hope that Audra feels better soon, who does have the post-con COVID crud. And also, I hope that you don't get sick either, Daigo. Yeah, thank you, Twyla. I might still hang. Oh, it's 11 p.m. Shit. My sense of time is so like screwed up because I was at like 2 weeks ago. I was in Eastern time zone, and then for like the past few days, I've been in Western. Like, I've been in Pacific time zone, and now I'm back in Central again. Like, my sense of time is just completely screwed up at the moment. Have a good night. Glad I was able to help him before you went offline. I do appreciate it, Twyla. Thank you for stopping by. Time is an illusion. If I can, I do want to hang out with people as well. I do want to do that in general. Like, the second day of my birthday thing is going to be more of a community night as well. So I do want to invite you guys. If you want to hang out, please, pokes fingies, hang out with me. Yeah. We'll play party games and stuff. And then Zia will scream. Can you guys hear him still? My mic isn't lighting up. But why not make the QR code take the person to the site and add a business card page downloadable? A business card page downloadable? Yeah, he's yelling his little head off. I gotta go feed him. But yeah, basically... Oh god, what was I saying? I have 8 other streams at low volume. I can't... No! That's understandable, Daigo. I don't know how you do that. Like, I want to support people, but I feel like I whenever I have, like, more than, like, 3 streams on, my head explodes. I try to, like, hop in when I can, though. But... Remumi... Am I Remumi now? But yeah, so... Yeah. The birthday anniversary thing starts on Friday. Friday is going to be more of a variety type game day, so I'm going to swap around a couple things. I want to at least do 1 set of floors for Orthos if I can, particularly because like patch 7.3 and 14 is going to introduce a new deep dungeon. Also, like, I might do, like, if anybody wants to go into deep dungeon, like, maybe we could try that on the Friday as well. I want to leave that day more open for what we play. A PDF thing is what I meant, like, as a downloadable thing. Yeah. So if anybody wants to go and try Deep Dungeon for the first time, I have a lot of experience in clearing Orthos, guys. So if anybody wants to go in there, I am happy to take people into Orthos. If anybody wants to go. But Saturday will be my community day, so if anybody wants to play games, like, it's open. That'll be, like, the big community day thing. We're gonna have, a lot of celebration stuff. Yeah, join for Orthos! Orthos fun! I love Orthos. But yeah, I will see you guys. Oh, the community day is on Saturday, but I might do Orthos on Friday. So if you're around on Friday, like, I'm down to do, like, I could do a solo run, but I'm also down to just take people in on Friday as well. So, yeah, we'll keep that day I'm keeping open. So I'm happy to do Orthos either by myself or with people. Like, either way is fine with me. But yeah, so that's the plan. We got it. Like, we're gonna do birthday celebration things over the weekend. Yippee! I'll put on my party hat. And we'll celebrate with the Kingdom Hearts 2 randomizer at the end on the Sunday. I don't know if I'll be able to beat that in one day, but we will give it the best effort we can here. I just got to set up for it properly now that I'm finally back. But hey, that won the poll, so yay, we're finally gonna get to do the randomizer. I do want to do another Ocarina of Time one at some point, but we'll make that's a different plan. The mango sorbet is gonna have to wait a little bit because I need to look at the logistics of making that. But as soon as I get that, we'll go ahead and schedule that celebration stream as well. And yeah, but I need to stop yapping and actually feed the cat. So I shall see you guys later. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for listening to me yap for a couple hours. So, and I shall see you on Friday. Yeah. Thank you. Have a good. Oh wait, hold on. I'm just about to just end stream. I'm very out of practice. Thank you for the head pet, Twyla. We should see if there is somebody I can raid. Why don't we raid? I don't think I've ever raided Iris, but maybe we could raid Iris. Okay, we're going to raid Iris. Delirio. All right, let me start up the raid. And do I have the raid message? Is it going to copy today? Let's see. Yes, it will copy today. All right, so copy the raid message, and we're going to go ahead and say hi to her. All right, I shall see you guys. See you on Friday. Oh, wait, is she going to... No, she must have just started. I'll just see you guys on Friday. Good night. Goodbye.